Ladies and gentlemen of Hotepistan, we are back with another episode of KeMedicine. We got the illustrious, the prestigious, the world-renowned,
Woo!
the legendary
Woo!
Dr. Inky in the building.
Hey, I appreciate you, man. I appreciate you. So yeah, I heard those little clips right there. Please,
Okay.
please get my life together, because between children, then I got robbed yesterday. You know what I'm saying? I got robbed yesterday. Chase
Robbed?
had to go away. Long story, but
Like
but
on the
Chase had to
street?
go.
Like you got mugged?
No. I didn't get mugged. Somebody kind of robbed the crib. Yeah, it's a little crazy. You know what I'm saying? A few dollars lost, but I was off my game. I was off my game because Chase had got like a little scholarship to Michigan State University over the weekend. So
Oh, wow.
I really
Oh,
wasn't
wow.
in. Yeah, I really wasn't in dad mode this weekend. I was really like in because when you got to be both as a single parent, you got to be both parents. So this weekend I was more like a nurturing, worrying mother than I was like a strong, protective dad. You know what I'm saying?
Okay.
Yeah, I was a little off point, and yeah. But so please get me up to date on Joey Badass and Kendrick and East Coast, West Coast right now. Like plug me in. Pause.
Okay. So, 4 months ago, Joey Badass says he's back and he's taking shots at the West Coast, taking shots at Kendrick Lamar. He understands Kendrick's not going to come outside until, he gets his weight up. So he's practicing, with some of the troops of TDE. So, he really wants Kendrick's neck, but he does a Red Bull. This all starts from basically it heats up during the Red Bull Cypher. So Red Bull Cypher starts off with Big Sean, then Absol, and then Joey Badass comes in and he starts dissing TDE. Then from there it starts spiraling, and we got I would say mostly Daylight and Ray Vaughn. So Daylight, Ray Vaughn are going to battle with Joey, and then
Hold on. See, people got short memory span. Daylight is Polite's partner.
what do you mean?
Daylight is Polite, like brother Polite, like in jail for
But when you say partner, what do you mean?
I mean partner, like him and Polite both got a thing with the young, the young ladies, and Polite went to jail for it. Daylight kind of didn't, but that's his man. Like that's. So I just don't see my bad. I guess that's not relevant.
They
to the
hung
battle
together?
thing. I let it. But
They was hanging out together?
Daylight is one of Polite's students, and then shortly after he became one of Polite's students, he got caught up with one of the young girls and the whole situation. He just didn't
His
go to
girlfriend's daughter. I think Polite was messing around with his girlfriend's daughter or something like
jail.
that.
No. Daylight was messing around with his girlfriend's daughter or something to that. Oh no. Yeah. Polite went to jail for that, but then Daylight had the same situation. Is what I'm trying to tell you.
Oh, wow.
Yeah.
Okay. I knew there was something. I thought it had something to do with a Vlad TV interview. I wasn't sure.
No, on the Vlad TV interview, Daylight was saying he wanted to have sex with Diddy.
Right. But I thought it was another Vlad interview where he slipped up and said he likes young girls. I didn't know. I never.
Yeah, all kind of stuff. So I could be missing.
Okay.
Listen, I could be messing it up, or you could be messing it up. But we realize that he's in that pocket, right? You in that space.
Okay. All right.
Yeah.
Okay.
So you in that space where you want to have sex with Diddy and all that. So I just don't even see how he jumping in the battle as a factor. Like,
Well,
I thought after all that, his mystique was done. Like
he was called out. He was called out. Joey called him out in the Red Bull freestyle.
Okay.
So there was some shots sent to Daylight's way. There was some shots sent Daylight's way. So that's how Daylight ended up in the battle.
So is Daylight a part of TDE?
I don't know if he's like officially on the label, but he's like an affiliate, I think. I don't know. Definitely an affiliate. I would venture to say he's an affiliate.
See, that's the one thing that the West Coast has always had is that togetherness. Like they could be separate, but then when something happened, they together. You know what I'm saying? Like,
Yeah.
and I think it's primarily geographic. I think it's
Yes.
geographic. I think for all these years we've missed the fact that the difference between the West Coast and East Coast is primarily the West Coast is just one long state. like
Right.
this is just really California is almost all of the West Coast,
Yeah.
as opposed to the East Coast being,
100
you know,
blocks.
right, Boston, this one, that one, New York, Jersey, blah blah,
Oh, yeah.
Georgia, Florida, like,
Yeah. Yeah.
you know what I'm saying? And then some folks in the South don't even know if they consider themselves East Coast, because depending on who you talk to, East Coast might end
At
at North
Delaware.
Carolina, and then it's the South. It's not the East Coast anymore. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah. Yeah.
So,
Dirty South
so
probably starts right after Virginia.
yeah, so it gets confusing and it's really not the South. The South is really more like Alabama and Memphis and all that kind of stuff.
Right.
Atlanta is definitely East Coast.
I would say the Carolinas are definitely down south, though.
Yeah.
Yeah. Yeah.
So we don't have that continuity,
Right.
where it really winds up being Northeast Coast
Versus California.
versus whoever. Like it winds up, and then even I live in Michigan now. It's like even Michigan, it's like it's a lot of confusion on the geography, because a lot of people in Detroit feel like they Midwest.
Right.
And all the time I have to remind folks, I'm like, look at your watch. We can end this right here. We don't have to debate this.
Yeah, you're in a different time zone.
You're on Eastern Standard Time. So that means you are on the East Coast. You are not Midwest. Chicago has a different time zone than Detroit does.
That's a good
What I'm
point.
saying?
Yeah.
But people feel like Detroit is Midwest. So it's like a lot of time when the jump off, New York has to stand alone. You know what I'm saying? We got Jersey, we got Baltimore, you know what I'm saying? But
Yeah.
like we got Philly, you know what I'm saying? But New York has to stand alone. And it's like everybody wants to benefit and make money off of New York culture, i.e. hip hop. But when the go down goes down, it's just us.
So yeah, you're right. It's just New York versus Cali. That's what it seems like. But it turns into East Coast, West Coast because of our magazine, right? They sort of coined that phrase, so that's why it's that. So, all right, so that's what happened. So Joey takes shot at Light. Light is now involved. At some point, Ray Vaughn basically took shots at New York, and then that's when
who's Ray Vaughn?
West Coast TDE artist.
Okay, so nobody knows him. He's just trying to get a name for himself. I'm just saying, we could talk bad about Daylight, but Daylight's still Daylight. Like we could violate Daylight, couple him with the Diddy, whatever, polite, but he's still Daylight. Like we can't.
Yeah.
I can't violate his resume. He's still Daylight. You know what I'm saying? Like I've never heard of Ray Vaughn before.
Yes, correct. Yeah.
He seems like he's just jumping off the top rope right now for free promo.
Yeah, Ray Vaughn doesn't have Daylight's resume.
Or anybody's resume. Like we know who Joey Badass is. Like we don't know. Like who's Ray Vaughn?
That's a fair assessment. That's a fair assessment. At least from my opinion. Okay. West Coast would obviously beg to differ, They want respect. Oh, Ray Vaughn, we know about him 10 years ago. And it's just like, all right, we get that. We don't
respect the West Coast. Listen, we totally respect the West Coast for gangbanging. Y'all are the gangbangers. So hate it or love it, that's what y'all have contributed to the world. Gangbanging, shooting each other, black on black crime. Yeah. You guys are the poster child for that. Like that's what y'all have. Y'all not. Yeah, that's y'all right there. Yeah. Y'all known for that. Yeah. We're not giving y'all. Listen, Kendrick, respectfully, Kendrick is whack, bro. Like, yeah. So we could just go right there. Kendrick is whack.
So you got Joey over Kendrick.
I got everybody over Kendrick. No, let me stop. Let me stop. Listen, I'm a Kendrick hater. You know what I'm gonna say? In order for Kendrick to really do his thing, because Kendrick is dope. You can't like I can't violate Kendrick. His pen is dope. But here's the thing: what Kendrick has to do, he has to realize that unlike the South, unlike the UK, unlike a lot of different regions where hip hop has grown to, California music is not really that good. You know what I'm saying? Like, no. I'm just saying, like the music, like the beats, it's not that good. You know what I'm saying? Like nobody really is into like all that electric funk and all. Like that's a really local type of thing. You know what I'm saying? Like so
They
in
was
order
just
for
arguing
Kendrick,
that in the Twitter spaces. They was like,
no,
the
it's a
the,
fact.
the
No, it's a
question they
fact.
asked was, "What do we have to do to get respect from y'all and
Hold on, the
respect our
blueprint. Listen,
sound?"
the blueprint is already laid. Y'all are missing the blueprint already there. Nobody have to ask that question because Ice Cube did it. Ice Cube already showed y'all what to do. Come to New York and do an East Coast app. Like get Universal producers and get your goatness on. Like Kendrick pen is official. Like I'm not a Kendrick fan, but I can't hate on Kendrick's pen. You know what I'm saying? Kendrick is official. Now, as a Bronx person, like we're very good at just hating randomly on everybody, pretty much. But so I can hate at a high level. You know what I'm saying? But in order for Kendrick to be, to get to his full potential, he has to get off of those California beats. We don't want to hear none of that electric funk weird. Like we don't want to hear none of that. It just turns people off from the. That's why if you notice, Kendrick is doing his thing now with like the Luther song and some of them other because the beats are different. It's that R&B, so we can highlight his genius respectfully on some different type of music, but he's never going to get to where he needs to go with that West Coast sound. The West Coast sound doesn't translate like some other places. It just doesn't. You know what I'm
So
saying?
where do
Like
you rank?
Dr. Dre's sound. Let me separate. Dr. Dre's sound totally different. Dr. Dre knows how to use strings. He's a string guy. Strings. If I, it's not so much of that electric funk. Even though he's from that era, it's not. He don't. It's not that. You know what I'm saying? So Dr. Dre is different, but that local California, like nobody wants to hear that, bro. Respectfully.
So
Yeah, I'm
where
not going
does
to listen to a Kendrick album. Like that's not going to happen.
so where does the Dirty South come into all of this?
The Dirty South, they just really musically inclined. Their music translates well because they um they stick to the blues. They stick to the blues, and what they've done is they've turned East Coast drums, that triple drum, into a southern type of feel by putting that with blues. So they stick to like a universal sound. Like that drum sound before we was even dealing with rap, like that drum sound translates all music. You know what I'm saying? That's a biological thing. So
Right.
so the South, they really take advantage of bass and drum. Like that's a universal template. You know what I'm saying? That taps into your heartbeat. So they have a universal sound. Like California has a California sound. It's really distinct. It's really them, but it just doesn't translate well. You know what I'm saying? Like they gotta. Kendrick has to leave there, and he has to. Maybe he don't want to rock with the East Coast. Maybe he go do a southern.
But Kendrick's,
Maybe he
I
go
would
get some
say, I
southern
would say,
producers.
I wouldn't say Kendrick music sounds West Coast because when we look at like, what was the real soulful album? That shit was a soulful, sound. It had a little funk in there, but that sort of transcended that local. But
What, the
Kendrick's
Kendrick
somebody
album?
who's he's left the West Coast sound on a bunch of different records.
Right. Well, he has records, but overall, yeah, that local, so you'll be listening to a Kendrick album, and then that stuff will come on and be like, you know what I'm saying? Like it'll just mess up the album. You know what I'm saying? So I'm saying he has to do albums with none of that on there, like none, like not any songs from like no beats from the West Coast. Like he has to stop that. Yeah, I'm saying completely leave that alone. Like I'm not saying come to the East Coast He can go to the South, you know what I'm saying? Or he can get some guys that have just transcended, like Pharrell is an East Coast guy, but he's one of those super producers. So he's kind of like he's not considered East Coast anymore. He's just considered Pharrell or some one of those guys. But
Yeah.
yeah, he's got to leave that. I mean, if he wants to, he's winning right now with what he's doing. Respectfully, you know what I'm saying? Take
Yeah.
care of your audience. Take care. Love who loves you back, right? So right now he's winning by loving who loves him back. I'm just saying if Kendrick wants the respect that I think his skills and his pen deserve, right? If I'm stepping outside of my hater, Drake fan, Bronx, East Coast, if I'm stepping outside of myself, giving him his roses, I'm saying respectfully, he's never going to get the credit that he's due until he does a whole album with a universal sound.
Well, he's got a few albums. Somebody just mentioned like Untitled
No,
Master,
no,
Damn,
no, no.
Mr.
Y'all have to
Morale,
stop.
Section 80.
No,
There was no
those.
West Coast influence
Yeah,
there.
there's definitely some songs on those albums. Yes, yeah, there's definitely some songs on there. We have to. Ice Cube came to the East Coast and he got the Bomb Squad, the guys that was working on, that did like Public Enemy and all that. Like they did his whole album. You know what I'm saying? And it was a
Mm.
classic Ice Cube. And then after that, he went back and did his thing still on the West Coast. Like he came and he did an total East Coast album, then went back and went super West Coast with it.
All right,
Like
so
so,
let
it's
me
not like
so let me
the
let
end
me
of
let me
his.
let me ask you the question then. Is Kendrick king right now?
No, absolutely not.
Who's
No,
king? Who's king of hip hop right now?
it's still Drake and Kanye. Yeah, the numbers don't lie. It's still Drake and Kanye. It's still Drake and Kanye. Like Kendrick doesn't have like hits like that. Like I get it. He had a moment with the Drake battle, but that's like saying could Loaded Lux ever be considered the man of hip hop? No, battle rappers don't make good records. Like it doesn't translate over. You can be the best battle rapper and not even come close to being the best artist. Like that's not in the same category. We've always had separate categories for that. We've always had separate categories for that. You have the best battle rappers, and then you have the best artists. You know what I'm saying? And the best artist has evolved over time to be the artist that translates the best. So you can't just be the man on the West Coast and then think like, oh, okay, yeah, I'm the man everywhere. Like that's not realistic. He's the man. He's had a hot moment. You know what I'm saying? He's definitely had a moment, but having a moment in hip hop doesn't translate to you being the man of all time. Like you got to get into the record
Is
books. You
Kendrick a
have to be
legend?
him. He's definitely a legend.
Kendrick is a legend.
Definitely a legend.
Okay. All right.
Yeah, he's definitely a legend. Definitely solidified. Like he's him. He's all hating aside, he's him, but he's not he's not the king of hip hop. Like that's
Is he
crazy.
is he is he at the same level as Nas and Jay-Z?
No way.
Okay.
No way.
Okay.
No way. Not even. No, sir. No, no, not
Okay.
at all.
All right.
It locally, maybe in Cali, he's seen that way. Like maybe in Cali, they see him as their Eminem or their Jay-Z or whatever the case may be. But that's why I'm saying it doesn't translate.
All right,
It
last
doesn't
question.
translate.
Last
They've got to get him on some other music. People was saying the same thing about Ice. Ice Cube is the best example to have this whole debate because people get emotionally involved with the Kendrick and Drake and this one and that one, and he's did his thing on the Big Sean song, and like people get. It's the same thing with Cube back in the days. In Cali, Cube was the GOAT, but everybody else was like, that's in Cali. You gotta relax. He's the GOAT in Cali. And to take that challenge, he was like, all right, well, I'm gonna come over there. I'm gonna come across let me come over there to the East Coast, line it up, and we're gonna see what we do. And he
Okay.
put together arguably one of the top 5 best albums in hip hop history still to date. So at that point, people was like, us. We can't. Even people that hated on Cube was like us. We got to give it up.
Okay,
So
last
so
question.
Kendrick's got to do that.
All right, last question. Jay-Z or Nas?
Jay-Z or Nas? Nas won the battle. Jay-Z won the war.
How did Jay-Z win the war?
And okay, I mean, how could he not? Like after the battle, Jay-Z had to put Nas on. Like Nas fell off. Jay-Z had to sign Nas and get him back together again. Yeah, like Jay-Z literally gave Nas a job afterwards. Like Nas was unemployed at the like yeah, so yeah, that right there, if nothing else, like that was like, oh wait, Nas, you signed to Jay-Z, like ouch, you know what I'm saying? So
That did happen. That did
yeah,
happen.
so so
That
that's
that
what I'm
did happen.
saying. It's similar to that same thing with Drake and Kendrick. It's like Kendrick had his moment. He did his thing in the battle. He got that. Nobody can take away the song, and everybody around the world was crip walking. And he got the tennis girl. She crip walked on the football game and all that. And like, okay, you had your moment. You know what I'm saying? But you
Who's
didn't really like what we're used to. And I'm a Bronx guy. I'm born the same year as rap. I came up in that neighborhood, not just in that era, in that neighborhood. My dad was one of the guys that was funding the block parties. Like I'm that type of person. You know what I'm saying? I'm come from that era. And what I'm saying is when you look at LL versus Kumo D, right?
mm-hmm.
LL won, and we know LL won because after that, Kumo D was considered whack. No
Mm.
more success. It was a wrap. 50 versus Ja Rule. You know that 50 won because after that, Ja Rule was he went from the top of the world to in shambles.
Yeah.
That's not what we're seeing here with Kendrick. Kendrick had a moment, but Drake dropping number ones. He's still the number one stream. Like, it's not that. You know what I'm saying? He did his thing. He did his thing. But it's not that. It's
All
not
right.
like a Mike Tyson
But
knockout where Drake is like it's not that. You know what I'm saying? He just
all
had
right.
a moment.
All right. So who gets more spins in your playlist? Nas or Jay-Z?
Well, ooh, it depends on what my life is like. It depends on what my life is like. It might be, yeah, it depends. In creative spaces, it's Nas. In motivational spaces, it's Hov. So it depends. It depends.
I agree with that. Yeah.
Yeah,
If I need to
it
be
depends.
motivated, I got to throw Hove on. If I just
Yeah,
want
yeah,
to reflect, I got to go to Nas.
yeah. I can't do no whole bunch of laps running listening to Nas. Like that ain't that for Nas. But if I'm writing the book, you know what I'm saying, and Nas might be in the background for that. He might be in a book session, you know what I'm saying? But jogging, running, trying to get through some push-ups, some 60 and 60s, like yeah, I'm gonna have to put on, it's just some certain joints that's timeless, you know what I'm saying? That Hove got that motivation.
Yeah. 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 All right. All right. Just wanted to get you caught up, get your opinions on what's going
So
on.
hold on. So what's going on with Joey Badass and Loaded Lux? Like how
Oh,
did this
so when Daylight hopped into it, Ray Vaughn had come at the whole New York. So somehow, some way,
I'm sorry. Yo, you gotta this don't say Ray Vaughn again. You gotta leave him out of this. Cause it's just crazy. How does somebody that nobody ever heard of come in a whole state? Like that's crazy, bro. Like Ray Vaughn has to relax, bro.
so somehow, some way, Loaded Lux ends up in the booth, and he's on the Joey Badass diss, and he's lighting up Daylight.
Oh
So I
wow.
think I think it's because Daylight and Lux come from that battle on the stage atmosphere that Lux was like, "Hold up, Joey, I got this guy."
That's interesting. So Loaded Lux and Joey Badass teamed up to get at Kendrick or just at Daylight?
Daylight.
Hmm. So hold on. So Lux is going at Daylight, but he's not going at Kendrick.
Yeah, that's correct.
Come on, Lux. Come on, Lux. See, this is why Nas couldn't beat Jay.
You
This is
think
why
Lux is
Nas
supposed to go
couldn't
at
beat Jay.
Kendrick?
Well, of course. What are you doing? Listen,
That,
if we if we
But Kendrick is Joey's fight.
no, that's not how I go. That's not how I go. Not when the beef listen, stay out the car, stay in the house. Cause if we getting ready to jump in the car and we getting ready to drive, we getting ready to pull up, we it's whoever outside. It's just that's you if you got in the car, just whoever's outside. When we pull up where we pull up at, whoever's outside getting it. Like that's how I go. You know what I'm saying? Like it ain't no so you don't get in the car unless you riding. Like if you get in the car, you riding on
Damn.
you on the mission. You on this mission
You
with
spraying
us.
the whole block up.
That's I mean, or you just stay at the house. You stay at the house and you ain't got nothing to do with this. But you can't just selectively like that's not how it go. That ain't how that go. Loaded Lux, come on, bro. We need more from you, man. See, that's you got we need more from you, Lux. But that's why Nas couldn't really win the war against Jay-Z. Jay-Z was willing to, go crazy. Like, and it went too crazy. Like, ooh, you can't do that. Like, we had to hit Jay-Z with a flag on the play. Like, bro, what are you? That's not, we don't want to hear them lines about it. The girl, the baby, like, you went, nah, bro, that's, you out of pocket. But, you know, in a war, it's, you're going crazy. Like, that's how Kendrick got his little edge on Drake. Like, that's how you got to be the one to go too far. You got to be the one to go too far. You know what I'm
Yeah.
saying? Like that's how Pusha T did it. Like they like, shh, bro, what are y'all doing? Are y'all so thirsty to get Drake's spot? Y'all just it's no rules. You know what I'm saying? So that's
Yeah. All right. That's fair. That's fair. All right. So we caught up on the hip hop, black culture. We need that, So we
Apex.
can't. Yeah. So we're gonna talk Apex and some of the ingredients in Apex. I know we got a lot of brothers on Apex. Shout out to my real ones on Apex. And we want to talk a little bit about prostate cancer. Our president, number 46, came down with prostate cancer, leaked to his bones. One of my friends, Scott Adams, prostate cancer. He's going to die allegedly this summer. May take his own life.
Wow, wait a minute, bro. What man? This just got dark very quickly. I mean, we was having a moment right there. I was in my hater bag. I was in my classical Bronx hater bag. You know what I'm saying? And man, things got dark. Woo! You just went disclaimer. Hopefully he does not do that. Like hopefully he doesn't do that. Maybe he watches this video and sees something that, helps him out or gives him a reason to keep trying. Like let's not
Yeah.
Man, that was dark.
Yeah, it was a pretty dark start to the week. We got that news yesterday, so yeah, prayers up for the homie Scott Adams. But yeah, so I guess let's start with Apex. What did you?
Well, here's the thing, because you just went super dark.
Okay.
On the prostate, and I guess we'll come back to prostate. We'll do the Apex and go back to prostate, but like this is really like a whole milk commercial. Like milk is. Are you aware about milk?
Nah, what?
Oh my goodness.
Like cow's milk?
Oh my God. So you know what's going to happen? It's going to wind up being somebody in your chat room that knows about the war between Dr. Inky and Wesley Muhammad from the Nation of Islam.
Yeah. I remember
Oh
that.
my God. And they're gonna start saying milk is chilling in the chat, and it's gonna get crazy. It's gonna get crazy because that was the whole thing with me and Wesley Muhammad. Wesley Muhammad tried to diss Dr. Sabi, and I'm the Dr. Sabi Avenger. You know what I'm saying? So he disses Dr. Sabi, and he says that Dr. Sabi didn't know what he was talking about, and milk is the food of the black gods. Cow's milk, whole milk, white milk, like from the supermarket. Not even raw milk. It wasn't even a nuanced conversation. Oh my God! So this is getting ready to go. This is getting ready to go real bad on this. This video is getting ready to go crazy. So I just Yeah, we're gonna go crazy with this, man. This is gonna go crazy. You know what's wild?
Milk heals HIV. Wesley Muhammad said.
Oh man, is that people in the chat going crazy already?
Yeah.
Yo, this is gonna get ugly. Yo, every time I come on here, this is like, yo, you better start saving some of that Apex money up to put me into witness protection. Because every time you get me up, every Tuesday night, it's like Dr. Inky is testifying on a stand against the, so like, this is crazy now. You know what I'm saying? I done already made the West Coast folks angry with me because I said their music is trash. You know what I'm saying? And now we're gonna get the Nation of Islam riled up once again. It's gonna, yeah. You always put me in a bad situation. So just get that Dr. Inky fund together and get me and my children.
It's just to start. It's just to start.
Man, what you gonna see by the time this video is over, it's gonna take some nasty turns though. Because prostate cancer is like, that's like a milk. Yeah, that's a milk thing.
So anyway, milk and prostate cancer are connected?
Apex. Let's go Apex. Let's go Apex, and then we'll circle back. We'll circle the block.
Oh man! All right, let's talk Apex. You got a chance to check out Apex and some of the fine ingredients in our premier product here, Apex.
Well, here's the thing. To be honest, I never really needed to check out Apex because from the jump, when you first showed me Apex, I was a fan off rip because a lot of those herbs I also use, So I was a fan. So I don't really have, you know what I'm saying? Now there's one herb that you use that I don't, well, two herbs you use that I don't use, but there's one herb you use that I've never heard of. Right. So when I seen that, I was like, interesting. You know what I'm saying? But for the most part, yeah, I use all of the herbs that you have it in the formula. So it's like now the thing is, I may have different perspectives on the herbs.
Okay.
Yeah, I may have some different perspectives. Like were you the brain behind the formula?
No.
Okay, who was the brain behind the formula?
I got a guy.
Okay. End of story. I got a guy. I'm from the Bronx. We know what that means. I got a guy. That's the end of that. We moving on forward from that. Like, don't ask me that again on the live stream. Okay, got you. Got you. I got a guy. Woo. Okay. So, but yeah, so sarsaparilla.
Yeah.
Yeah, sarsaparilla is an anabolic, androgenic, like it's used for. So here's the thing: what happens? Just herbs in general, right? And so we have a whole book series. We have a book series called the Ebers Papyrus. And what we're doing is like so here's the one of the Kemetic mysteries. It's just as big of a mystery as the pyramids, right? So in Kemet, they gave the world the medical papyri, surgeries, anatomy, everything. It starts right there. Boom. And when you go through the papyri, it says in numerous spots that the Sunu, the Kemetic physicians, they had a apothecary, they had about 800, 900, 1,000 different herbs that they used for various illnesses. Problem is, you can't find that list anywhere.
Right. Yeah.
You can't find those herbs anywhere. So I've been looking for those forever. And I figured out where they are. I found out what happened to the list, right? The list is at CVS.
Okay.
The list is at Rite Aid. The list is our modern medicine.
Right.
So the Ebers Papyrus book series is where we explore modern maladies or diseases or illnesses and the medications and their plant-based sources.
Right.
So, um, the whole idea is outside of the books now. Herbs have local lore, right? They have local lore. This is how big companies do their research, right? Herbs have a local lore. So they'll go into a population, and they'll talk to the locals, you know, um, what are you guys using for this? Or what are you guys using for that? Or they'll use some old books or whatever. And then they'll get that idea. Then they'll go to the source. They'll grab samples and they'll take those samples back to the lab and they'll start analyzing the plant compounds and just throwing them up against the wall. They'll first start with the stories associated with the plant.
Mm-hmm.
From there, they'll veer out into other stuff. A lot of times, the stories may not match the way our pharmaceutical system works now. So the plants will wind up being used for something totally different.
Right.
So sarsaparilla is one of those things.
Mm.
So the stories about sarsaparilla is, virility. That's
Mm-hmm.
the lore. It's good for virility and, androgenic and test and blah, blah, blah. But isolates, right? The extracts are used very potently against cancer.
Mm.
Yeah. So you look up sarsaparilla. Sarsaparilla is like it's one of the number one most research plants for inhibiting cancer cells.
Wow.
Yeah. Yeah.
Wow.
So you can type that in sarsaparilla, National Library of Medicine, National Library of Biochemistry. Like there's a bunch of information out there on sarsaparilla inhibiting cancer cell growth.
Wow. Yeah, it's right here.
hmm So sarsaparilla is good, you know what I'm saying? And so that's where it gets crazy when you jump into the weeds with the biochemistry. It's like, okay, here's the legend, here's what the legends say, and then when we jump into the weeds and we start extracting compounds and throwing them up against the wall, sometimes, they'll find something that's not necessarily in alignment with the legend, but it's just as potent.
Mm.
You know what I'm saying? Now, the downstream, because of the way our biochemistry works, everything is a domino effect. So this affects this, that 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 affects this. Anything that has a negative effect on your body has a multitude of negative effects.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
Anything that has a positive effect on your body has a multitude of positive effects.
Right.
You know what I'm saying? So it's just that as humans are, hedonistic creatures of pleasure, like that's the thing that will always stand out. You know what I'm saying? Like, sexual pleasure, you know what I'm saying?
Right.
Or being able to, you know, have some more endurance or the strength, you feel a little stronger, but there's so many different things in your body involved with feeling stronger. Feeling stronger is not something you can just quantify that way.
Mm.
Yeah, because feeling stronger could be improved mitochondria function. Feeling stronger could be, recycling lactic acid and, like it could be, recruiting more muscle fibers. It could be better nerve, connectivity or your spine function, like relaying the messages more efficiently or the motor nerve. Like there's so many different things that would translate to us like just feeling stronger. Like that, there's just thousands, like there's so many things going on the inside of our body that feeling stronger, is where sometimes I'm on the side of, the holistic approach, the naturopathic approach. Sometimes I'm on the side of the scientific approach.
Mm.
Because sometimes we really need to get into the specifics to figure out what's going on. And not because of, like trying to debunk something or whatever, but just because so many different things could be going on.
Right.
You know what I'm saying? And that's how you get like let's just jump over to Maca for a minute.
Okay. That's one of
Cause
my faves.
okay, so don't be mad with me, HJ, okay?
Okay.
And you really don't have a reason to be mad with me because Maca's in your compound. It's mixed in.
Right.
But whenever I used to talk about maca, I used to always get a lot of hate mail afterwards because you have maca's one of those herbs that there are people who make a living that just sell maca.
Right.
And so they're on social media and every problem you can fix with maca and it gets crazy. And I'm the melanin guy. I'm the melanin guy. You know what I'm saying? So I gotta come out my warrior mode for melanin. And so, I had an issue. And it wasn't really a big issue because I use Maca for the record. I use Maca. I use Maca in my formulas. I use Maca in my life. I give it to my children. But Maca is an anti melanin plant.
Okay.
Maca inhibits melanin.
Okay.
You know what I'm saying? Maca inhibits melanin.
Mm.
So people don't like to hear that. You know what I'm saying?
Mm.
Go, oh, well, no, you must be talking about the other one because the black maca is black. It got melanin in it. I'm like, see, y'all listening to that young Pharaoh. That's the young Pharaoh. That's the young Pharaoh line of science. No, it's not this. Yeah, that's not. That doesn't mean. Yeah, that's not that. That's the black maca is more potent, a melanin inhibitor. You know what I'm saying?
Mm.
So, but here's the thing. The positive effects of maca come because it's a melanin inhibitor,
Mm.
right?
Mm.
So and it's a key component in the fight against diabetes,
Mm.
right? That's a part of the reason why the movement is called Melanin versus Diabetes. People don't realize that that's like I didn't just throw that together, like that's really a thing.
Right.
So there's a molecule in your body, right? It's called DYRK1A, right? DYRK1A, DRYK1A, DRYK1A, right? And around 2018, I became aware that Mount Sinai, right? Mount Sinai was in the cut. When I say in the cut, I'm talking about they was bubbling in the cut like peroxide. You know what I'm talking about? Like they
Mm-hmm.
was on the low with this. They was Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles in the sewers in the cut. Like they was in the cut and they was leading the world on beta cell research.
Mm.
So I turned into a stalker. Like I'm a Mount Sinai stalker now. Like they can't even use the bathroom without me there to wipe them. You know what I'm saying? Like I'm on them like glue.
Okay.
And so the research is surrounding this molecule DYRK1A. You know what I'm saying? And with Dirk, and so eventually I'm the first person to break the story to the holistic community. I was telling them in advance what Ozempic and all of these drugs was going to be before they even came out. I
Mm.
was telling them about these drugs before they even came out because they came from this research for beta cells.
Mm.
So, and these are plant-based things. Like people was trying to get Ozempic. All this stuff is plant extracts. So Mount Sinai is doing this work on beta cells and it centers around DYRK1A. So now, they're doing their pharmaceutical thing. I'm doing my natural path, Dr. Inky thing. And so I find out DYRK1A has a role in melanin production or beta cell production.
Mm.
Right? So what happens is if you can when DIRC1A is on, melanin production.
Mm-hmm.
When DIRC1A is turned off, melanin production is shut off, beta cell regeneration is turned on.
Mm-hmm.
Right? When you inhibit DIRC1A, that inhibits melanin production, but it allows beta cells to regenerate.
Okay.
So there's a whole host of plants that have different compounds that affect this little biochemical pathway.
Okay.
And like maca, like maca, are able to enhance the body's ability to metabolize energy, your neurotransmitters via GABA, because beta cells also produce GABA. You know what I'm saying? So it's not just insulin, but GABA also. So it's brain, it's neuron function, it's a whole host of things that are beneficial from knocking out or temporarily disrupting DIRC1A activity.
Mm.
Yeah.
Mm.
So the small minds, when I was trying to explain this about maca being like an anti-melanin, it was like, oh, we coming at the chakra. I was like, see, no, y'all, I got can with y'all. I just can't.
They
Y'all
start getting
chat.
scared, like you anti-black.
Yeah, man. And it was right at the height of the movement when Maca was looking crazy on Instagram for a minute. Like, man,
uh,
they was going Maca crazy. AIDS, cancer, all kinds. They was going nuts. And I was like, hey, you know that stuff depigments you after a while. Like, you might want to slow it on down, champ. You just seen some white folks. Like, hold on now.
yeah.
He was like, Inky, you just hating. I was like, no, I do that pretty well too, but that's not, I'm not hating right now. You can look it up. That's what it does. That's
Mm.
not saying that it's still not amazing for some other things, but melanin is a costly product for
Mm.
your body. Not just melanin, but proteins in general. You know what I'm
Mm-hmm.
saying? Like proteins in general. This is one of the reasons why a lot of people in the health space they came up with this thermogenic value thing, right? Because breaking down proteins and building proteins is expensive for your body energy wise.
Right.
So they're like, there's a value to consuming high protein diets, whether it's vegan or not, because it takes a lot of calories to break this stuff down. So your body's still burning fat, technically, in a sense, or burning calories anyway. Um, Breaking down proteins and rebuilding them. You know what I'm
Mm.
saying? Pigments are just the most complex proteins you have, whether it's opsins or whatever, melanins, opsins, globins, whatever.
Mm-hmm.
But yeah, so it's a costly process. You know what I'm saying? So the way your body works efficiency wise, sometimes it has to stop this. It's kind of like spending money. You know what I'm saying? Like if you got a vacation you saving up for or a pair, an outfit or something, you have to stop spending on other things and save your money for this. You know
Right.
what I'm saying? Like,
Right.
like it kind of goes like that. So your body has mechanisms designed to simply limit or stop certain processes when it works on others. Like everything in the body is kind of based on like a binary, a stop and go kind of thing.
Right.
Yeah, stop and go kind of thing. So maca is really one of the best adaptogens that there are out there, even though it's not classified that way.
Okay.
You when you think of adaptogens, it's more like ashwagandha, rhodiola, eleuthero, and you got eleuthero in your. I love eleuthero. That's a powerful for like just overall electricity,
Mm.
wattage. You know what I'm saying? Voltage, like that's. But maca it fits into that space. You know what
Okay.
I'm saying? Maca is like a marathon herb.
Mm.
Black is a marathon herb. You know what I'm saying? Like it's a marathon herb. So
Mm.
again, it supplies you with so much energy And because it helps the body with sugar, it's anti-cortisol, right? And so what happens is anything that's anti-cortisol is pro-testosterone.
Mm.
So sometimes, like, and this is where sometimes scientific articles get lost. Like you can't, sometimes the journals miss. You know what I'm saying? So there's a space where the holistic side is the naturopathic side is the right perspective, and then sometimes you need the scientific perspective, but they
Right.
neither is perfect. You know what I'm saying? And so sometimes like you'll get into the journals and they'll go, oh, well, there's no evidence that documents that this helps boost your testosterone. And it's like, yeah, but something doesn't have to boost my testosterone in order to boost my testosterone.
Mm.
Yeah, something doesn't have to boost my testosterone in order to boost my testosterone because what happens is in your body, you have so many things that are killing your testosterone.
Mm.
All you got to do is just be that friend. You know what I'm saying? We shooting a one-on-one. I just need you to make sure nobody jump in. You know what I'm saying? Like sometimes that's what herbs do. You know what I'm saying? And cortisol is always jumping in.
Mm.
Cortisol is always jumping in and breaking down your anabolic hormones. So anything that's able to stop cortisol or even limit cortisol is going to boost your testosterone. You know what I'm saying? It may not boost your production, but it will boost your available testosterone, which in layman's terms feels like you got a boost in your testosterone. You know what I'm saying? Because
Mm.
all of the things that are inhibiting your testosterone, you just kind of cut them off at the knees.
Got
So
you.
so yeah, there's a lot of herbs that do that. Like they work on C-reactive protein and IL-1, IL-6, cortisol, like they eliminate those things and then you just wind up with more available testosterone for you to lift weights or lift your lady with, you know what I'm saying? Like yeah, yeah.
Yeah.
So so yeah, there's that. You know what I'm saying? And maca's definitely one of those. Like, and then the other thing with maca too is because of its effects on sugar metabolism and pancreas and all this other stuff, it has effects for the brain, and it has effects for just blood flow in general.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, because the biggest issue with blood flow is, stuff in clogging it up.
Right.
You know what I'm saying? And so A1C, glycation, sugar, triglycerides, cholesterol, like that's the big three, you know what I'm saying? But glycation is the biggest issue when it comes to blood flow.
Mm.
Yeah, because glycation slows down the blood flow in a way that slows down the turnover of other products.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
So that's the real issue with cholesterol in black folks. Black folks don't have high cholesterol. That's like a miss. That's it's a fact, but it's out of context fact. So because it's an out of context fact, we can't really get in front of the issue. The issue is that we come from the equator and we're supposed to be in UVB light all day and outdoors and physically active all day. In that situation, most of the cholesterol that we're producing is getting turned over into vitamin D, testosterone, estrogen, progesterone, all of these different byproducts.
Mm-hmm.
But in America or in Europe, where the culture is designed to be out of the sun and the culture is designed to sit down, right? You're
Mm.
designed to sit down and be out of the sun. Windows block UV light just in case y'all thought y'all was at work and the sun coming through the windows. The light's coming through the windows, but not UV, right? So the cholesterol is not being converted to other products. And
Mm.
so people that have a lighter hue, you know what I'm saying, from light-skinned folks all the way to white folks, that also goes along with your cholesterol production.
Mm.
Yeah, because you're not, like people say, oh yeah, well, the Europeans, they was out of Africa in the colder climate, so the folic acid and the vitamin D, that's in the mix of that whole conversation slash debate is cholesterol. Cholesterol is the substrate for vitamin D.
Okay.
So a lot of times we forget that part of the program. So if we're getting 12 hours worth of sunlight as opposed to we're going 11 months, sometimes 10 months without getting barely any sunlight, you know what I'm saying? It's a totally different turnover for the cholesterol. So our problem is that we don't have the turnover,
Mm-hmm.
the cholesterol that we're supposed to have. We're not converting it into the other products that it's supposed to. Cholesterol is a substrate that your body uses for a lot of different biochemical products, hormones, vitamin D, all kinds of stuff. You know, that's the reason why statin drugs are so dangerous. You know what I'm saying? Statin drugs are dangerous because they inhibit cholesterol formation, and that's never a good thing. Cholesterol, outside of cholesterol being like used to make vitamin D and hormones and all that, cholesterol is used to make your brain. It's used to make the covering for your nerves and neurons and your cells, part of your cell membrane. Like you need cholesterol, you know what I'm saying? So inhibiting cholesterol is never a long-term answer. You know what I'm
Mm.
saying? I'm not telling people that's taking statin drugs to stop because you might like get dead, you know what I'm
Right.
saying? So you kind of like don't want to just cold turkey that, right?
Right.
But if you're thinking that's a long-term solution, that's not an answer because you're gonna wind up with a whole bunch of other problems and libido issues and erectile dysfunction and all of those things, they go along with that because you need cholesterol for proper sexual health.
Okay. That makes
Yeah.
sense.
Yeah. So
Okay.
yeah, so sarsaparilla, eleuthero is epic.
Mm-hmm.
So I don't even have anything to add to that. Let me look at your website.
Milky
What you
oats,
got over here?
tonka ali.
Okay, Tonka Ali is as advertised. Like that's goat level. I don't even know what you doing with that over there. Like that's yeah, like that's one of my secret herbs. I don't even talk to folks about Tonkat Ali. That's as advertised. Like just yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, Tonkat Ali is one of them ones. Like that's one of them ones.
Mm.
Um Tribulus is I'm a fan of Tribulus. You know what I'm saying? I feel like Tribulus is like the Dr. Inky in the herbal community. You know what I'm saying? Like
Mm.
people done violated Tribulus, disrespected Tribulus, and Tribulus just stand tall and just keep grinding, keep moving forward, keep proving all the haters wrong. So Tribulus is as advertised. Like Tribulus is good for just all things anabolic. Um,
Mm.
Pine pollen, epic. I definitely use pine pollen. I use a lot of pine pollen. Um,
For what?
my formulas, you know what I'm
Okay.
saying? My formulas, yeah, yeah, yeah. But I ain't trying to. We talk about Apex, so I ain't trying to. But yeah, yeah, yeah. I use a lot of pine pollen. Pine pollen is epic. Pine pollen is what the netchers use.
Mm.
Yeah, that's how the netchers fertilize the planet.
Wow.
Yeah, 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 yeah. So that's that. Yeah, that's yeah. We can't really say nothing like that's the highest. Yeah, that's how it's springtime. Like springtime is springtime because everything gets fertilized in the springtime, and that starts right there with pine pollen.
Right.
Those are evergreens. You know what I'm saying? So that's the magic or part of the magic of the evergreen family.
Mm.
But the nettles.
Mm-hmm.
Now nettles is interesting because you got nettles down for prostate health.
Mm-hmm.
And so here's how I learned about the nettles,
Okay.
right? I learned about the nettles from some African folks, some African brothers, and what they do is they give nettles to white folks.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, they give nettles to white folks. Now, because of what it does, obviously it's one of those things that is going to definitely help your vitality and your all of that, your performance. It could almost be qualified as a PED. It could almost be qualified as a PED.
Wow.
Yeah, Yeah, Nettles is one of them. So when out of towners, like tourists, come into Africa, because Africa got a lot of places where the sea level, it's high up. You know what I'm saying? It's a lot of places that's high up sea level. So when you go to some of them places that's high above sea level, the oxygen is different. You know what I'm
Right.
saying? People, tourists, even black folks that's not from the land or not used to being like, you need help breathing. You need the time to get used to it. Even like in America, like from a lot of players when they go up to play like Jokic and them, what's that? What's Utah, when they go up to like Utah and Seattle and some of these places.
Yeah, those high elevation places.
Yeah, they have they have a hard time adjusting to getting a win right. You know what I'm saying? So they give them nettles.
Really?
Give them nettles. They give them nettles. Yeah, nettles will boost your body's ability to produce like hemoglobin.
Hmm.
And yeah, so it'll help your body oxygenate itself. And so,
Hmm.
more oxygen translates. That's what EPO is for. You know what I'm saying? More oxygen translates to all things physically improved. Like that's just the physicality cheat code. That's why, like the cyclists, they use EPO, which is your body naturally makes EPO, erythropoietin, which tells your body make more blood cells. You know what I'm saying? Like EPO is the messenger that usually your kidneys or some other places send a message to your bone marrow to make more blood cells.
Shout out to
Um,
Dimitri. Dimitri said we just made the front page of Kick.
that's beautiful. That
We are
is.
now on the front page of Kick. Shout out to the front page of Kick, kick.com. We love y'all.
That's HJ. You just at the GOAT level all over social media. You got a lot of GOAT activity going on with you.
We just,
They got a lot of.
we put our nose down and we just go to work. That's all. We got a
But
great
see
team over here. We got graphics guy Renee. We got a great
listen,
team.
that's tribulous. That's tribulous. Going back to tribulous, you know what I'm saying? That's tribulous.
What's Tribulus?
That's that grind, like how you just
Oh,
said. We
okay.
just got a great team over here. We keep grinding.
Yeah.
That's tribulous.
Mm.
Tribulous is because when people first got hip to it, it was like a lot of bodybuilders was promoting it back in the days, and then they start taking it to labs, debunking it. Like, no, we've scientifically tested tribulus, and we don't see a rise in the testosterone, And then come to find out, a few more tests. You know what I'm saying? It's totally different. They're like, well, technically, so what happens is Tribulus does boost the overall anabolic, Tribulus has just been one of them ones that just been tested, retested, and tested again. Because sometimes what'll happen is people will use something consistently and get consistent results. And then folks will take it in the lab to try to figure out because the results and the word of mouth happens before the laboratory. Somebody has to put money up and spend a lot of time
Right.
to isolate components. And inside a plant, you may have thousands, hundreds of thousands of different compounds and anabolics and alkaloids and all kinds of different things inside plants that are at work. And so they may just not be able to narrow down what is causing the effect. But that doesn't negate that when people using it, they're still getting this consistent, but because the law says you can't copyright plants,
Mm-hmm.
big companies can't come in and get their money until they isolate something that they can replicate in a lab.
Right.
So we can use a plant for thousands of years and get a benefit, and big pharma or big corporations can't really tap into that and monetize it unless they're able to break the plant down and find the isolated component to go, this is the thing that's causing this. So now we can extract this, we can replicate this, we can patent our process of isolating the compound or the compound itself, and now we can go to market and do our thing and get our money back. You know what I'm saying?
Right.
So sometimes they get frustrated though, because they might put thousands of dollars, even millions of dollars into chasing a compound down and not be able to find it.
Mm.
You know what I'm saying? And so, bad press goes out on the plant, like tribulus, you know what I'm saying? But
Mm.
tribulus over time is like gold standard anabolic, like no matter what. When you put together a herbal anabolic formula, tribulus is going to be a part of that.
Mm.
Yeah,
Mm.
like that's just every herbalist, every naturopath would tell you that. Like they'll go to bat for tribulus. Like I don't care what the book say. Now we're gonna put this tribulus. This is going in here. Yeah, like yeah, the science getting ready to run out right there. We know we're gonna use this right here because 1,000 humans say 1,000 years and 1,000 humans say this.
Mm.
Now, just because they may not have been able to find the component that's causing that's cry me a river. They just got to figure, they got to stay at it. You know what I'm saying?
Mm.
But that's how stuff becomes pharmaceutical drugs.
Right.
They
Isolated
find
from a plant. Yeah.
yeah, they find that key component and then it becomes a drug or
And that's something
steroid.
I noticed with some of the people in this space, the supplement space. I find that they have extracts and isolates, and one of our seller points is we don't do extracts or isolates, and they charge a lot more than we do. But I'm seeing like you said, they find an extract or an isolate.
Well, yeah, the isolates and the extracts. So here's the difference between whole plant versus extracts, isolates, and then versus like pharmaceutical grade, like medications or whatever. The only difference is time.
Mm.
Like if we want to just narrow it down, like because we could get into the weeds and come up with the real difference is time. That's the
Right.
difference. So and the time factor, sometimes like in health, time factor is crucial. Somebody's dying, they need to, so time factor is crucial. But the
Right.
problem is you can't separate increased speed from increased risk.
Mm.
You can't separate the two.
Right.
So that's where, you know, you have herb, and then like say for instance, we go purple lilac versus metformin.
Mm-hmm.
You know what I'm saying? Metformin is an extract from purple lilac. Purple lilac is great for your pancreas, but it doesn't act as fast as metformin does.
Right.
So because it doesn't act as fast as metformin does, it takes a while for you to get the results, but it doesn't have the side effects.
Mm-hmm.
So, you know what I'm saying? Like, so you might be in a space in your life where you need, like, that's why I'm not anti-medicine or surgery. You know what I'm saying? I realize there's a poverty mindset, and poverty mindset is where we have to choose either or a lot of times. You know what I'm saying? Even like as a child, you know what I'm saying? Like poverty, you getting one toy for Christmas. Now, what you want to get for Christmas? Like that's what your parents asking you. Like, what you want to get for Christmas? You want to get them sneakers or you want to get that game? You know what I'm saying? Like, you're not in poverty. You're getting the sneakers and the game, and you're getting the outfit to go with the sneakers, and you're getting some joysticks and attachments to go with the game. Like
Right.
you getting all, and so as adults, poverty travels with us and we make the poverty type of, we set ourselves into poverty type choices.
Mm-hmm.
You know what I'm saying? Where I recognize, and I learned this from actually doing the work, you know what I'm saying? Because like at first I'm just local, helping out folks. And then, after a while I start bumping into folks with a few dollars. Like I missed them, you know what I'm saying? But I bumped into one or two folks over my career, with a few dollars. And when I brought them in, their perspective was told, when they brought me in, their perspective was totally different. They was like, okay, so this is what we want you to do, Inc. We want to have you talk to the cancer doctor and we just want to see what kind of ideas we can throw around. And we probably get the chef and the nutritionist on the phone with y'all and just like have y'all. I'm like, wait, what? Yeah, so we're gonna put you with the doctors and we're gonna put y'all all together. Light bulb. I was like, okay, paradigm shift for Dr. Hinkie. I got to stop my whole teaching style has to change. I'm like, okay, new level. No more either or.
Mm.
Everybody out there, you're anti-medical establishment because you're pro naturopathic or pro herbs, you know what I'm saying? Or you're anti herbs and natural, because you're pro medicine. I'm like, no, no, no. That's not the future and that's not the truth. That's not the future and that's not the truth. You know what I'm saying? Like that's not it.
Right.
And in reality, somebody that's dying doesn't really care. Because if you could prove to them that drinking cow piss would cure them, like trust me, they're drinking a gallon of cow piss. Like they no nobody all of those illusions that we have about our morality and all of this stuff and our religious beliefs and this all that goes out the window
Right.
when a person has, when the doctor say, yeah, you got a few weeks to live, so we're done with you, and yeah, we can't really fix. Oh, at that point, they're open to anything. You know what I'm saying? Like, so, I realize that, some of the stuff is just illusion. You know what I'm saying? And so, folks with money, they not making the same type of decisions we making. They
Right.
have a staff. So they got the best of this of whoever they can put together. They've got their surgeon talking with their nutritionist, talking with their herbalist, talking with their
Mm-hmm.
naturopath, talking with their masseuse,
Mm.
talking with their like they chiropractor. Like
Acupuncture.
man, they got the whole program there. Like no, 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 no. We're not leaving no stone unturned. Like we're not. No, we everything's on deck. I'm the breadwinner. I got to get back to dunking the basketball or trading millions in stocks or whatever it is I'm doing. I got to
Right.
get back to that. So I need whatever y'all can put together, and maybe y'all have to take turns. Maybe I do need the surgery, but maybe I need the nutrition and the herbs and woo 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 post surgery to speed my recovery. Like I just so I realized that we had early on. I realized that, and that's been a blessing for me to because I carved out a unique space where I was just like, no, I'm not anti-medicine or surgery because that's ridiculous. If you have children, how can you be anti-surgery? If one of your children go skateboarding and bust their head, what you gonna rub echinacea on it? Like, no, they need stitches. You know what I'm saying? Like, what are you talking about? You know what I'm
Yeah.
saying? Like, yeah, so we got to
But
stop being ridiculous.
but you are anti-milk. See what I did there?
I was perfectly happy. Listen, I was perfectly happy talking this show out on the Apex and just fading it out. And then it would have just been like, like, oh, they were supposed to talk about the Wesley Muhammad and what happened to, yeah, they went on to something. See y'all next week when we talk about, like, yeah. Y'all see, HJ liked the drama. See, that's one of the reasons why he's so good at social media because he likes to.
I'm just saying, we got people.
No. You like to incite some. Yeah, you start trouble. HJ is a selective
Listen,
troublemaker.
my man's is dying of prostate cancer. You said milk is bad for the prostate.
Yeah.
I love milk. Now I'm concerned.
Yeah, milk. And the milk companies have spent quite a bit of money trying to whitewash the web. Like they've spent a lot of bread on trying to figure it out. But the links between prostate cancer and milk, they just can't get rid of them.
Really?
Oh. Yeah, they can't get rid of them. They out there. You know what I'm saying? You can type in cow's milk and prostate cancer, and you'll see both sides. You'll see like cow's milk and prostate debunked. Cow's milk causes prostate. No, you'll see the whole it's been a debate back and forth for a long time about, you know what I'm saying?
While
So
some studies suggest a link between high dairy consumption and increasing prostate cancer, particularly whole milk, the evidence is not definitive and more research is needed. Some studies have shown a possible link between high fat intake in dairy and prostate cancer risk. Other theories suggest that dairy's hormones like IGF-1 or the effect on calcium and vitamin D balance might play a role. However, the link is complex and other factors like age, genetics, and overall diet also influence prostate cancer risk.
right. You see
Shout out
that?
Willie Will.
So you see the complex. You just in that little 30 seconds of reading you just did right there, you can see how the web is crazy, but you can't separate the two. And so what happened with me and the Nation of Islam is Wesley Muhammad did a video and he was talking about cow's milk being the food of black gods and all kinds of foolishness.
Okay.
The video didn't get any traction. Sabi passes, Nipsey passes.
Damn. This is later. Okay.
The then the Nation of Islam folks over there, they clip the Sabi segment from Wesley's overall lecture, and simultaneously, Wesley Muhammad, what's the boy from the Scientology? What's his name?
RZA.
Yeah, Rizzy Islam, Ben 19X, and it was like 3 or 4 of them. They simultaneously all came out and did videos on various platforms, like against Sabi and against the vegan plant-based, you know what I'm saying? So I'm like, ho. Not only is y'all targeting the OG, y'all indirectly like, what hold up now. You soon as I get out, they pull me right back in. You know what I'm saying? Like, so now I got to go at him. And so, because I have, it's weird, you know what I'm saying, when you got an organization like the Nation of Islam, because it's so many people and it's such a history to it that, like in a situation like that where I want to attack individuals, I can't really attack individuals without attacking the whole, you know what I'm saying? So
Yeah.
now I got to go into Farrakhan, you know what I'm saying? Respect to the OG, but
Elijah Muhammad. It's in his book.
Well, in Elijah Muhammad's book, Elijah Muhammad. So this is where the whole thing goes crazy, because then it became like surgical, and I was just kind of destroying the whole nation. So they was like, us, we don't want any more beef. Because Elijah Muhammad's book, and that's really where I went immediately. Like, first stop was How to Eat to Live, book 1 and 2. I'm like,
right.
Have y'all read these books? Because here's the problem. Y'all done left the blueprint in these books right here. And I was taking them to the page and the paragraph. I'm like, go to page 27. Like, I'm taking them to the page and the paragraph. Like, Elijah Muhammad said to use milk substitutes. So let's stop that right there. And then let's go to this bean pie farm investments thing y'all got going on. So y'all are financially invested in the milks. Right. And then y'all got thousands of dollars from the government faking like y'all had a cure for AIDS, because the Nation of Islam had a long-standing beef with Dr. Sabi. So when Dr. Sabi came out saying he had the plant-based way to fight HIV, the Nation of Islam came out and said they know how to cure AIDS with milk. And they got government funding to do it, and then defrauded the government, got busted frauding. And so they did a special in the New York Times of how the Nation of Islam frauded the government out of money for AIDS research and all this and all that. So I had to bust them out, you know what I'm saying? Because people didn't know nothing about all this. And I wasn't trying to go into all this, but I'm like, hold on, see, now y'all done, you shouldn't throw stones if you live in a glass house. Now, I'm not sure if everybody is fully aware of your situation over there.
Right.
You forgot that this milk y'all promoting is what got Farrakhan sick in the first place, because Farrakhan got prostate cancer from all that milk y'all doing. So I'm like, so you, what we doing now? Like, how far we trying to, you know what I'm saying? So it got crazy, and then I got the, the MC, MC and my people call me Milk when and then I start mixing up the clips in the video. Milk is chilling, and then it got crazy. It had a little viral moment, you know what I'm saying, on the milk thing, you know what I'm saying. But yeah, so the milk is definitely something that you want
Raw
to.
milk?
Raw milk is a much more nuanced conversation, but what I would say is based on the scientific papers that are out there,
Mm-hmm.
right? Especially like you just read it. They say, oh yeah, the links could be this, the links could be that, but we can't figure out exactly what the links are. So it's not necessarily saying that milk is not causing the prostate cancer.
Right.
What they're saying is they can't nail down why it's associated with the prostate cancer.
Damn.
So what I would say is, lay off the dairy altogether. You know what I'm saying? That's what I would say. Like just as a precautionary, like anybody prostate cancer or because prostate is an evolving space.
Okay.
Prostate's an evolving space. Like I've been doing this long enough. Like that's one of the things that when you've been in your space for a while, you see stuff come and you see stuff go. And back in the late 90s, early 2000s, oh, people was ready to commit suicide behind PSA numbers. Oh, my PSA number, the doctor said PSA, my PSA. And I'm telling folks from a naturopathic standpoint, I'm like, yo, them PSA numbers ain't right. Them PSA numbers ain't right. Them PSA numbers ain't right. And sure enough, maybe 10, 15 years later, the scientific journals say, well, the PSA numbers have been proven to be, not accurate in terms of a predictor of blah, blah, like, so, a lot of this stuff's evolving. You know what I'm
Mm-hmm.
saying? A lot of stuff's evolving. And so, um,
So when we say prostate, what do we mean when we say the word prostate?
well, it's like the male, this it's a male organ, so women,
Right.
you kind of out of this combo. Y'all got the uterus, y'all got the uterus, we got the prostate, you know what I'm
Mm.
saying? So it's a male organ, it's responsible for some of our semen and or our sexual fluids and sexual health and activity. And one of the big things with the prostate is VDRs,
Mm.
right? Like VDRs is one of the first things that I found out about the prostate. And basically VDRs tell you where you need the most vitamin D. VDR is vitamin D receptors.
Mm.
So the prostate area is one of the places that has like a dense population of VDRs. So vitamin D, right? That right there give you a clue. Vitamin D give you a clue to what's the problem with the prostate, right? So you got to think, what does vitamin D, like that's how you naturopathically think. Like that's how you develop the naturopathic mind. You figure out what stuff does, how stuff's supposed to work. And so when problems happen, you kind of walk backwards from there. So you see a lot of vitamin D receptors, and then you just figure out, okay, what is vitamin D? Cholecalciferol. Cholecalciferol, right? So chola is cholesterol, cal, that's calcium, ferrol, that's iron. So anywhere you see a bunch of vitamin D receptors, typically is cholesterol, calcium, or iron. Something is going on over there with that, right? If you're lacking the vitamin D, you're going to have a problem with one of those three things.
Mm.
Because vitamin D is this regulates those three things:
Mm.
cholesterol, calcium, and iron metabolism.
Mm-hmm.
Right. So typically what you see with prostate issues is calcification.
Mm.
Yeah. So you're seeing calcification a lot of times. So, um, so people would think, and sometimes stuff is counterintuitive. Like, so you would think immediately, you'll go, okay, so I go to the website and get me some vitamin D. Nah, it doesn't always work like that. Because sometimes it's like Joel and B said, it's the process. You got to trust the process. You know what I'm saying? And with vitamins now, like vitamin D and some other stuff, it's the process of producing a thing that's also important. It's the process of producing a thing that's also important.
Right.
You know what I'm saying? Like, um, when vitamin D is produced, there's a whole bunch of metabolites in between the time like the UV light hits the cholesterol and your liver or your kidneys make that final conversion to, like, there's a whole bunch of products that are produced in that chain of biochemical events, and all of those things are beneficial for your body, right? So yeah, you need to get like, that's the one time where I would agree with the folks on the internet with the social media, because they got this new thing called, bathing your private parts. They're doing bathing your private parts and sunbathing your private parts. Like, that's a thing now. So there
So I
are
got to
certain
pull my
times.
balls out and sit in the sun.
I mean, like, because I don't really fully, like, I'm not fully co-signing it, but I'm saying, like, like,
It
there's
wouldn't
some
hurt.
benefit sometime to being naked. Like, we should be naked sometime. You know what
All
I'm saying?
right. My neighbor's
Sometime,
going to have to deal with it.
yeah, sometime we could be a little naked. You know what I'm saying? But it's also nutrition. You know what I'm saying? It's also nutrition because iodine, you know what I'm saying? Iodine breaks down calcification. You know what I'm saying? Iodine is key for prostate health.
Hmm.
And typically we don't get enough of that. You know what I'm
So,
saying? Go ahead.
so what we seeing is with our president, with my boy Scott Adams, is it's funny you say milk, right? Because they're saying it's leaching to the bones, and there was a whole campaign about milk being good for your bones, and now you're saying it's a link between, or a possible link between milk and prostate cancer. Now they're saying the prostate cancer is leaking to the bones, and you mentioned calcium, and I'm like, there is something going on here with bones,
It's all that
calcium.
conversation. Yeah, yeah, yeah. And here's the thing. There's never really been any studies confirming cow's milk being good for people's bones.
Right,
Like, that's kind of like, I ain't gonna say fake, but that's like propaganda.
right.
You know what I'm saying? That's propaganda because the vitamin D in the cow's milk is not intrinsic of cow's milk.
Mm,
Yeah, so that's where the hustle, the kung fu hustle came in, right? So, um, okay, so let's go to an uncomfortable space, right, for a second,
mm-hmm.
right? White folks, relax. I love you. You know what I'm saying? But we know y'all have your sun issues, right? Sun issues, skin cancer, right? So we know, take it easy, right? Um, so there's a natural inclination to hide from the sun, right? And so the problem with hiding from the sun led to rickets,
Mm,
and I'm a victim of that, right? Because even black folks, we have issues, you know what I'm saying, with not getting enough sun.
right.
You know what I'm saying? And so I have bow legs. I still have bow legs now, but not as bad as like when I was born. They had to get me the special shoes, and my moms and my pops was debating, should we break his legs and all this other foolishness, but they wound up getting me the shoes, and the shoes got me together. You know what I'm saying? But Bow legs is a sign that the mother was vitamin D deficient throughout the pregnancy.
Mm.
So we look at bow legs like sexy, like, oh, she cute, she got bow legs. Or girls be like, oh, he cute, he got bow legs. Really, what you should be saying is, yeah, your mama, your mama was vitamin D deficient. So yeah, some of that boy stuff ain't fully completely developed because that
And
boy ain't
knock need the
vitamin
same
D.
thing.
Yes, but kind of like the opposite. But yeah, vitamin D deficiency. You know what I'm
Right.
saying? So rickets was the driving factor behind the whole vitamin D, discovery and the whole program of mass marketing vitamin D because they added the vitamin D to the milk as a
Mm.
way to get it to the masses because everybody needed it. Rickets was like an epidemic, crazy thing. You know what I'm saying? So they needed it to spread to the masses. So that's why milk traditionally says fortified with vitamin D because the vitamin D is added. It's not a part of the milk, it's added.
Right.
So but that's the part where the advertisement gets to say good for your bones. They're saying good for your bones because the vitamin D is in there,
But that's added.
but that's added. So technically, cow's milk in and of itself is not necessarily, you know, a game changer for the bones. Like if they didn't add that vitamin D, yeah. So the whole industry is kind of built on, I ain't gonna say a lie, but it's just a gray area where it's like, okay, I get it. Michael Jordan wouldn't have got those rings without Scotty, but we're gonna still say he's the GOAT anyway. Like that's how
Mm-hmm.
people roll with it. We're gonna violate, disrespect LeBron, but we're gonna pretend like Mike wasn't getting slapped around by the Detroit Pistons and all that. Like we just gonna block all that history out. We're gonna pretend like he didn't play for 15 seasons, getting washed for 9 seasons. You know what I'm saying? Like we just gonna forget all that. We're gonna forget all the beer bellies in the 90s. Like Mike was an athlete playing against, car mechanics in the finals. Like, we're gonna forget all that. You know what I'm saying? So it's kind of like that with the cow's milk. You know what I'm saying? So it's not really, yeah.
Yeah, now MJ catching strays. It's ugly out here, man. Somebody asked, enlarged prostate. What's happening there? It seems like something's swelling.
Yeah, it's getting swollen. You know what I'm saying? But yeah, you can reduce it down to calcification and vitamin D deficiency and inflammation. Like if you get those three things under control, typically PSA numbers, the prostate swelling to come down, PSA numbers are normalized, like prostate to get back together again.
Mm.
And but also walking, like walking is a thing. You know what I'm saying? Our body was designed to do it.
Hmm.
And when we do not do it, a variety of things goes wrong. So everything in our pelvis requires us to be walking in order to function properly.
Hmm.
So movement has a thing, you know what I'm saying? And uterus, ladies, you know what I'm saying? Like women that typically don't walk a lot, statistically don't do as well delivering babies. You know what I'm saying? Like because it's a thing. Walking is a thing. Like yeah, there's a whole thing from the pelvic floor muscles to the hip flexors and just the bone, the way the spine and the hips, like all walking is a real thing. So, walking and getting that calcification and inflammation under control, and then, not getting caught out there in no weird stuff. You know what I'm saying? Like people trying to like, oh, I'm saving my semen. You know what I'm saying? Like, all kinds of stuff people got going on.
Semen retention ritual, 12 months.
I mean, I did it. You know what I'm saying? But I did it the martial arts kind of way. You know what I'm
Mm.
saying? I went that way with my semen retention. I didn't really go like the tantric brown chakra route. Like I didn't, yeah. Because it's dangerous when you're playing around with your testicles and semen. Like people don't realize that, because we think of semen or sperm as just like a sexual, sexual pleasure, and we're gonna mess around with this and increase sexual pleasure, and we don't realize most of our body's systems are built on our anabolic system, like our body's ability to turn over cells every day. Like we got 50, like we got billions of cells that we have to produce every day in our body.
Right.
What I'm saying? And so that's anabolic. That's a part of our, like when we think anabolic, we're only thinking sex or, like pecs or six pack. You know what I'm saying? Like our thinking is very limited when it comes to anabolic, but healing is a anabolic process.
Mm.
So any type of healing, any type of regenerating, all that's anabolic. If you fall and scrape your knee, the scab forming is an anabolic process. Like
Mm.
everything healing is anabolic. You know what I'm saying? That's what anabolic, the whole set of hormones does. It rebuilds tissues, rebuilds hormones, it builds the body.
So
You know
you're
what
gonna
I'm saying?
have to release at some point. You got to release that semen at some point.
Well, you're designed for that.
Right.
What I'm saying? You're designed for that. So, masters in that space, they go really far to maintain that semen retention to the point where they use like metal pipes and things like that to hit their testicles. Like yeah, it gets crazy if you really want to stay in that space. You know what I'm
Mm.
saying? Like, so, that's not really something that people just want to do cool stuff for the social media world. You know what I'm
Yeah.
saying? Like people
Yeah.
don't really want to get into the,
They grifting.
like, man, you know what I'm saying? Like there's a guy that's going viral now because he throws arrows and he's like a super ninja warrior. I'm like, yeah, I don't really like it's cool to like if you could just zap his superpowers and then just be him, that might be cool, but you don't really want to walk the road that he had to walk to become him. Like, it's this is yeah, to get that good, like yeah, you don't want to yeah, you gotta take it's a lot of sacrifices. You know what I'm saying? Like it's people that be like, yo, Inky is deep with the science. And I'm like, you might not,
The
I
whole
missed a
whole.
lot of parties and a lot of socializing. Like I've missed, you know what I'm saying? But my life was already structured that way because I had so many children that I was gonna have to, miss certain things. But
Right.
you know what I'm saying? Like,
So, with my friend here, who and our beloved former president Joe Biden, once they get into the bones, it's a wrap. There's just they just gonna be going on to.
well, here's what I would say. Here's what I would say. I have a book on it. I have a book on it. I have a small book on it. It's called The Prostate.
Oh
All right.
wow.
The
Okay.
Prostate. Yeah, it's called The Prostate. Um, you see that finger on there. You know what I'm saying? Like people know what that finger in the glove is all about.
Yeah.
Activating that brown chakra. You know what I'm saying? But medically, they're gonna activate your chakra, But just information that could be like powerful game changer. You know what I'm saying? Like we recommend folks, some powerful herbs in the book that have been scientifically proven to be transformative when it comes to prostate and calcification and stuff like that. So the prostate, depending on how far gone a person is, like the body is miraculous.
Hmm.
The body's miraculous.
Because he's been trying remdesivir and all this other stuff.
There are people on record healing from almost everything.
My man said
Like,
my
like
man said he got till this summer to live. That's what the doctor told him.
there's plenty of people that have had a couple weeks to live, years ago. Like that's not, that's really see, here's the thing. And here's I put out a book called the Ma'at book,
Mm-hmm.
and it's a math book about probabilities. You know what I'm
Mm.
saying? Because I realized probabilities was missing from the health space.
Mm.
And a lot of people, especially like online health people, they can't translate doctorese right? Because I got another book called Body Language on doctorese, like so people can understand what doctors are saying in the hospital. But people can't translate doctorese because they don't understand like the vocabulary. So that's one book, body language book, but the math, right? And so they don't realize that doctors are just talking about probabilities. It's just math.
Mm.
And so it's not like a conclusion. Like doctors be giving folks death sentences and then they buy into the death sentence and they succumb to the death sentence. But you have to understand that the doctor is a human. He is not God. Like he can't like that's not how that goes. The doctor can't say, "Oh, well, on June 11th, around 6:30, you like that's not how that goes." What the doctors can do is, they can go through a whole bunch of information. Right now, they got AI helping them, so they'll go through a bunch of information, and they'll go based on all these variables. If all these things stay in place, this is how long you'll live before the cancer, before you succumb to whatever.
Right.
You know what I'm saying? Yeah, but all you gotta do is start changing those variables. That's what probabilities is. Probabilities are possibilities, that have moved along. You know what I'm saying? And possibilities are based on a whole bunch of variables. So you have to look at the variables. You have to break this thing down, start looking at some variables like, okay, what are the variables that like how did you get into what gave you that decision, doc? Like what are you saying that based on what? Like don't just let the doctor pronounce you dead in a few months or a few weeks without getting specific details. Make him do his job. Put them doctors to work. You got to pay him anyway.
Right.
Right. So have them tell you like what exactly, doc? Like, no, I'm about to take notes on this. I'm about to write this down. Like, exactly what's going to kill me? Like, how is it going to kill me? What is that? Because I want to know the whole mechanism of my death that you're predicting. So that way I can find the weakest person in the, you know what I'm saying? Like, I want to either find the weakest person or the biggest person. They say, like, if you're getting ready to get jumped, just jump on one person and rock him like that. That's kind of how you handle this. You know what I'm saying? You find you a variable that you can handle, and you beat that variable up. And if you beat that variable up, you get a little bit more time, and you get to jump on another variable. And you might come out on the other side of this thing. Your few weeks might have turned into 3, 4, 5 years, or you might get a spontaneous remission. You know what I'm saying? Like that's the doctor cheat code. The doctors have a cheat code so that they don't have to admit they were just absolutely wrong. Like so, when naturopathic protocols work, they're able to say, "Oh, that was spontaneous remission," but that's not a clinically viable approach. But that spontaneous remissions are possible. Those are possible. We do have to say it's 1 in a million opportunity, but it is possible that it can happen.
So I remember Nikki was talking about the vaccine, and when she talked about the vaccine, she talked about infertility, right? So it seemed like there was a connection between the vaccine and the male organs. So now we're seeing people who were vaccinated, and I'm not saying it caused it, but people who are vaccinated, our friends,
Why are you so hot? You so messy. Yo,
I'm just
AJ is so messy. Bro, you are that's why he's the GOAT when it comes to social media. He just go right from hot spot to hot spot. Like this is rough up here. I'm like Woody on the YSL trial. Like this is crazy. I'm like, I can't recall. I do not recall. I can't recall. My bad. Go ahead. So yeah. So the vaccine. What happened?
It seemed like there might be a correlation between the Fauci juice and these prostate cancer cases.
Yeah, I'm gonna definitely roll with the Woody. Pun intended. Pun intended. I'm rolling with the Woody, right? I'm rolling with the Woody. I can't recall. I don't want them. Yeah, I can't. that beef right there is too much for me. Like sometimes you gotta know when to, you know what I'm saying? Like you gotta relax. Like some beef, like young Pharaoh, like Kendrick, you know, line them up. You know what I'm saying? But you gotta know when you're biting off more than you could chew.
Mm,
You know what I'm saying?
damn.
My man Hocus, you know, Hocus, man, beefing with Whack 100. Now Hocus has a mystery Rico case. Like, what? Just like sometimes you can't be beefing with everybody, man. Yeah, I can't mess with them folks, man. Them
Now,
people.
speaking of cases,
Yeah.
you got a case.
Man, what I got a case.
In Hotepistan, we have a tradition.
Oh man. I've been brought up on charges in Hotepistan.
You've been brought up on Hotep court charges, my man.
Man, I knew it. You had him going talking reckless about Kendrick. I know Hotepistan. They like Kendrick.
we got some charges for you. Okay.
Oh man.
I'm gonna tell you what the charges are, and I'm gonna tell you why, and you can tell us how you plead, guilty or not guilty.
I might plead guilty.
Okay. It's that works too. Okay, you know. I'm Hotep Jesus. I'm the peacemaker here, but
I might plead guilty. I don't even know what it is, but I'm probably at fault. Go ahead.
These some serious charges.
Okay, go ahead.
Okay, now I've been brought up on charges. Uncle Hotep. A lot of people been brought up on charges.
No. You're frequently brought up on charges. This it's cool. Yeah, it's all right.
So,
Hotepistan is a country full of outlaws. The Wild Wild West. Everybody's ducking charges in Hotepistan.
First one is treason.
Oh man, what's that exact? Okay, is that the Kendrick related charge?
No, this is not Kendrick related.
Okay,
it's not Kendrick related. And sedition.
Treason and sedition.
The sedition is third degree, but the espionage and treason's in the first degree.
Ouch. Okay.
Espionage and treason are first degree charges.
Espionage. Man, this is rough out here in these streets.
Yeah. Espionage, sharing or obtaining national defense information to aid foreign governments or harm.
Man.
Hotepistan.
I knew testify. I've been telling you the last few weeks, you're going to have to put me in witness protection program. You got me looking hot. Now, I knew it was coming. I can feel it coming.
So now I got to tell you where these charges stem from.
Okay.
Today, I went to YouTube and I typed in Inky Shaka Atmos. And I did not like what I saw. It was ugly.
Yeah.
And he threw our brother under the bus. Now you know what I'm talking about. You know what I'm talking about. So we need to know how you plead guilty or not guilty. We need to know how you plead guilty or not guilty first.
Okay, I'm gonna say it like this. This is how I'm gonna say it.
Wait, you gotta say guilty or not guilty first.
Wait, what? Well, I don't get the. What kind of court is this?
You can't defend yourself without the plea.
Without the plea. Okay, so I'm gonna plead. I'm gonna go with innocent of all charges.
Not guilty.
Not guilty. I'm gonna go with the standing your ground laws.
Wow.
Yeah,
okay.
Go with the standing your ground laws.
All right. Now go ahead, defend yourself.
Well, at the time, there's a lot going on at the time. So to isolate Shaka and me is kind of like, it takes the situation out of context. Because that was like, like how Drake was having a battle, like how people doing now. They isolating Drake and Kendrick, but really it was Drake versus the music industry.
Okay.
You know what I'm saying? So it was Dr. Inky versus the House of Consciousness, you know what I'm saying? And so it kind of stemmed from that whole situation. You know what I'm saying? And Dr. Inky was the Lone Ranger blazing at, 10, 15, different, so, but post then, you know what I'm saying? Post that situation, I've come to, terms with House of Consciousness and all members thereof, ex-members and current members. So, but yeah, that's just a part of the Dr. Inky pass. I don't have any beef with Shaka tomorrow or today.
Now, I spoke with Shaka.
Shaka is entitled to still feel away.
Okay.
Yeah, Shaka's entitled to
He's
still
not
feel
happy.
away. That's Shaka. You are still entitled to feel away. You know what I'm saying? But I don't. You know what I'm saying? I don't have anything against you. I apologize for making you feel however if you, but he's entitled to feel away. I'm not one of those people that feel like, you know, when you get over something, that means that the other party, like other party is able to do, if he wants to carry, even though it's unhealthy for you, Shaka, you shouldn't be carrying grudges, brother. That's not the KeMedic way. Right? But I get it.
It was pretty serious, the accusations you made about our brother Shaka.
Well, Shaka was a part of a cabal. And I don't want to bring up the accusations because that's going to get like other platforms. Because that beef is still going in the background. Like
Okay.
that whole mess is still going. You know what I'm saying? I've separated myself from it. I've tithed, to make peace with folks and get myself unattached from that. You know what I'm saying? So I don't know if Shaka, if Shaka, if it would even be worth a phone call. And not to say that it wouldn't be worth a phone call, to tie things up with Shaka. But I'm just saying sometimes people are not in a space where a phone call, they're not even in a phone call space. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
But so like I said, Shaka's entitled to feel
for me, it was going to a foreign entity to air your grievance against the nation, the House of Consciousness. Going to foreign territory was.
Well, you have to do that though if you at war, because you can't beef with a platform on that platform. They're not going to give you a voice.
Well, you got your own platform.
Well, yeah, but you got to match. You got to match. You can't shoot guns at a missile. Like you can't be having a 500 view battle with a 10,000 view battle. Like you got to level the playing field.
So did Shaka send shots your way? Because it's a House of Consciousness thing, but was there shots from Shaka? Because the shots I saw were directed at Shaka and at House of Consciousness.
Right. Well, the shots, I play dirty. You know what I'm saying? Like, so I play to win. You know what I'm saying? Like, leave me alone. You know what I'm saying? Like, I told you early on in the show when I asked you about Loaded Lux, I said, listen, now when you get in that car, everybody outside, like you can't be picking and choosing. When you pull up, everybody right there getting ready to get it. So you with me or you with them? What we doing?
So what you're saying is Shaka was on the block.
Shaka was on the block, and Shaka was supportive of certain things. So Shaka had some innuendos and some indirect commentary that at the time I took as incendiary.
Okay.
And so I was like, nah, I'm not doing that. You what? Like what? You what? Nah. Everybody. You know what I'm saying? Especially when you by yourself. You know what I'm saying? When you alone, it's a different perspective.
Right.
You know what I'm saying? So, yeah.
Now one last thing. Yeah. Since we here, a lot of people been texting me, emails.
So, stand. I'm pleading not guilty by the stand your ground laws. You know what I'm saying? Like, my bad. Shaka had the soda and the,
outside of the Shaka thing, I'm gonna talk to Shaka. We gonna try and get y'all to handshake and piece this up. We gonna, because that's what we do in Hotep and Stan. We try to bring the brothers together. You try to pass Brother Polite off on other niggas, but that was your man's for a minute. He
That was
helped you out in the
literally
dark time.
no. That was I sponsored Polite. I sponsored Polite. I ghost wrote for Polite.
Right.
Yeah, and he did not help me out in a dark time. He scammed me in a dark time.
What?
Yeah.
He
So we
scammed
had an
you because
emergency
the
situation.
way he said it, you needed some bread, and he gave you the bread or something like that. Now you saying he
No,
scammed you?
no, that never happened. What happened was we was moving out of Georgia, and this is when he was just getting his real estate scams going. I was one of his victims. You know what I'm saying? He was supposed to have
Mm.
stole me a house. I gave him a down payment. Come to find out it was fake and it's a whole bunch of other crazy stuff. You know what I'm saying? But promo and marketing is amazing. You know what I'm saying? So you never get around the stories. The truth never travels as fast as a lie.
Mm.
Yeah. But I sponsored Polite all his early events. That's how people know me and Polite is because when Polite first started, he was a Dr. York guy. He
Right.
wasn't in the conscious community. You know what I'm saying? He was a
Right.
Dr. York guy. And so I was putting up bread for him to do a lot of speaking events. Like I believed in Polite. I was one of the early, but this is early Polite. This is
Right.
not Scammy Davis Jr. Polite. By then, me and Polite I was the first one to expose Polite for scamming. And the conscious community at the time loved Polite. So they got angry with me for exposing him, which is how Shaka and some of the other people wind up getting in the way because they get mad with me, like Inky hating and blah, 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 blah. Because I'm telling everybody, like, yo, listen to me. I'm telling y'all this, and this. And this is going to lead to this because y'all are not. And then we just watch a few years later and then bam.
So what were you exposing him for? His scams?
Scamming and, man, I really feel like I'll be on the stand over here. Like this is rough. HJ, get your money right, brother, because you're gonna have to really put me in witness. Because this is crazy. Listen, peace to the house of consciousness, everybody included. You know what I'm saying? Like this is you opening somebody's gonna see these videos. It's gonna open up old wounds for somebody. You know what I'm saying? Like I don't have no beef with nobody. You know what I'm saying? Like
We just got to get everything
Polite's
documented.
in jail. Polite's doing his time. Polite has converted to a Hebrew Israelite now. So technically, Polite is Captain Tazariak's man. Captain Tazariak needs to be answering for Polite right now. And why it is that the Hebrew Israelites seem to harbor so many sex offenders. Like, why, what is that all about? You know what I'm saying? But nah, you know what I'm saying? Like, yeah, Polite was definitely my man early on, but I was the first person to say that, Polite's not who, you think he is. And you're in dangerous company with Polite. You know what I'm saying? So that's why when you see Polite's most popular videos, it's him and Shaka or it's him and Tazariak and it's him and I'm not in those videos. You know what I'm saying? Because by that time, me and him already have like a off and on kind of relationship. You know what I'm saying? An off and on kind of relationship by then. We wasn't like tight like we was in the beginning.
So you was his ghostwriter? That's where he was getting all that science info from?
For a lot of the books, yeah.
Wow, that nigga lied to us.
Yeah, but a lot of folks benefited off Dr. Inky. That's why, like think about Ali Muhammad. Like when you see Ali Muhammad and Ali Muhammad's prime is sitting next to me. So when Ali Muhammad is next to me, he looks like the smartest guy on earth. When me and Ali Muhammad part, research levels drop down. When KT, the arts degree, sitting next to Dr. Inky, KT looks like the smartest guy on earth. When me and him part company, research level goes. When me and Polite sit next to each other, Polite looks like the smartest guy. I can go down the line. Like this is just, it's a byproduct. You know what I'm saying?
Mm.
But I'm still consistently doing the same level of research as I've been doing. You know what I'm saying? So I just have never really been like the guy that I want to be in the front. I prefer to be the guy to work with you behind the scene and let you go crazy in the front. You know what I'm saying? Like the way I was raised, the OGs was the guys that sponsored the basketball tournaments. They looked cool on the side with fresh sneakers and jumpsuits, but they never got sweaty. They sponsored the basketball team. You know what I'm saying? Like, so I always, like, yeah, I like to, like, yeah, go get him. You know what I'm saying? Put my man KT on you. I'll bring Ali out on you. You know what I'm saying? Like, but then what happens is social media era and egos get crazy, and before long, you know what I'm saying? Like people, it gets messy. You know what I'm saying? It's
Chat.
always, it
We
gets
got to
crazy.
go to the jury. The jury, guilty or not guilty, chat. They got to weigh in. Guilty or not guilty. What's your verdict? What's your verdict? Then we going to put him to sentence. If he guilty, we putting him to sentence. Not guilty. 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 Not
OJ
guilty.
trial, baby. It's the OJ trial. Let's go.
Not guilty. Not guilty. Okay.
Stop counting already. That's it.
We just need one guilty. We need one. Somebody, come on, somebody.
It's like the Diddy trial. Like you try to get the assistant. Like the assistant never saw any violence. Like, well, yeah, but Cassie said now. We know Cassie said.
We got one guilty. We got one guilty. Let's go. Hang that nigga now.
Yo, listen, man. I would love to see a future, honestly, where me and Shaka could do something. You know what I'm saying? Because through it all, ups and downs, even some crazy stuff, Shaka has held down that culture. You know what I'm saying? So just based on the culture, like I always still give him his kudos. Like you see me hating on Kendrick, but then I'll step outside of the hate for Kendrick and be like, I can't violate. His pen is still Kendrick. He's still, I can't get with that music, but he's still, you know what I'm saying? Like, so I hate on Shaka, but Shaka's still Shaka. You know what I'm saying? He's still him when it comes to the comedic, like he's still him with that. You know what I'm saying? I can't take nothing away from that. So in the future, in a beautiful universe, I would love to see that happen. But in a realistic universe, that may never happen. You know what I'm saying? Because, past events, you know what I'm saying? And sometimes, unfortunately, politics goes that way.
I'm gonna talk to him. Okay, I'm gonna talk to him. I'm gonna try to, I'm gonna let him know we got the apology, and Shaka's.
Shaka's a very particular type of individual.
Yeah, so I'm gonna talk to him, and we're gonna try and connect y'all. We're gonna do a live joint. We're gonna talk chemed. We're gonna talk science. We're gonna find a ground. We're gonna make peace out of this. We're gonna repair this.
Yeah, you listen. It's been a few joints already, low key. I have to be transparent. I have to be trans. There's been a few joints where you had Shaka on, and I've been watching like, I would have loved to chime in right about here, but I don't even want to pop up in the chat because it could go, Shaka get on one, like I don't even want to pop up in the chat because it could, he could go off into a tangent and like I said, rightfully so, but then also it could take away from his momentum with the build and the information. You know what I'm saying? Because I jump up in the chat, then all of a sudden he addressing me, and he done left the whole train of thought when he dropping some, you know what I'm saying? And he's long-winded like me.
Right.
Some people's not long-winded. They just get to their points and they, long-winded folks, we build it. Like we making point on top of point on top of point. So now you distract me, you done threw off the whole, like, nah. We got to keep, you know what I'm saying? So I just, it's been a few times you had Shaka on, though, where I was like, I wanted to jump in, but I was just like, man.
Yeah, somebody was in the chat Saturday. They was like, what they say? They said, yo, just jump straight to the Koofy stuff. I'm like, you don't know Shaka, man. He got to build on this shit.
He got to warm up. He got to get that thing warmed up. It's like an old car. You know what I'm saying? He got to get that thing warmed up. And then sometimes when you're teaching, and it's different teaching styles. You know what I'm saying? Like people don't realize, but lecturers and teachers are not the same. You know what I'm saying?
Mm.
Shaka is more like on the side with me with teaching, you know what I'm saying? Not lecturing. Lecturers is more like they just talking to you. A teacher wants to make sure you're learning what they're saying or they feel like they're wasting their time. You know what I'm saying?
Right.
Like I could just be closed up privately in a room by myself with these books and totally enjoy myself. I'm a bibliophile. You know what I'm saying? I'm talking to you because I want to share this with you. I want you to retain some of this. So before I get to what may be the more complicated parts of what I'm trying to deliver, I want to try to make sure that as a whole, because on the internet, say for instance, you got 10 people watching or 100 people watching, everybody knowledge base is at different spots. Some people is more well-rounded with this, more well. So in order to really have a good conversation, you kind of gotta, and it's boring for the people who know more.
Right.
You know what I'm saying? For the people that's more well-rounded, they're kind of getting antsy. Like, yo, just get to the, come on, just start that other, you know what I'm saying? Like, but it's like you're not the only one watching, you know what I'm saying? And we got more people watching that don't know than do know. So we gotta, build up to the, you know what I'm saying? And that's how you're supposed to have, verbal intercourse anyway. You know what I'm saying? It's verbal intercourse. You know what I'm saying? You got to have foreplay. You know what I'm saying? Like you don't just jump in there and start going crazy. That's why premature ejaculation is at all-time high. You know what I'm saying? Like, you know what I'm saying? We can't just jump in there and go crazy. You got to
Yeah.
build that thing up, oil it down. Pull out your baby oil. Yeah.
Yo, Shaka's Kanye breakdown was crazy. We did that Saturday. He
Well,
not.
I didn't see the whole thing. I saw it when it was going on. Like I seen that it was happening, but I didn't watch it. But Shaka's one of the people that will probably be the most insightful on that because Shaka is an introverted type of, you know what I'm saying? Like he can speak to that issue from a different perspective. You know what I'm saying? Like, it's one thing to comment from the outside looking in, but there's another perspective from the inside looking out. You know what I'm saying? And so, yeah, I'm sure his commentary was crazy because he has a different perspective. You know what I'm saying? Most
Yeah.
people are recycling takes from YouTube. Shaka was probably going from personal things that he's been through and being on both sides of the, you know what I'm saying? Like, so yeah, I'm sure that was crazy.
Yeah, he went crazy on that one.
Yeah, yeah.
Whew. All right. You skated by today. You got lucky.
Man, shout out to the jury, man. Listen, I feel like Young Thug right now. Shout out to the jury, man. Listen, could have went either way, but the jury was with me today. And listen, we getting up out of here with prejudice, so no double jeopardy for me.
It's just the first case. Just remember that this the first case. This
No,
we
I'm sure there'll be many more because you hot, you know what I'm saying? And you got the drive, like, so, and you working the steering wheel in the car. Y'all never noticed that the guy with the steering wheel in the car, he don't really get the same sentencing as the guy popped out the side window with the gun. The guy popped out the side window with the gun. Everybody's getting shot. They see him. They don't see the guy driving, you know what I'm saying? And it's usually the guy driving the car with the plan. Okay. He is the guy with the plan. The guy without the side, leaning out the window. He he just he's the muscle. He just, hey, we getting ready to do this. Okay, I'm down. Yeah, I'm down. Let me know what the. All right, get the gun ready. Right there. That's HJ. He at the steering wheel. So I'm just the guy leaning out the window. So just as my charges get levied, just know I'm a co-defendant with HJ. You know what I'm saying?
that's not true. Nope. That's it. You're taking these
No,
charges on your own.
on past charges, I gotta eat those. You know what I'm saying? Like I've been a menace to society somewhat. You know what I'm saying? And some of it is me standing my ground. Some of it is me separating myself from individuals because you get binded to individuals in the digital age when you work together. You know what I'm saying? And people change, people evolve, sometimes for the better, sometimes for the worse. And you gotta separate yourself sometime when you see the worst coming. Like you're getting ready to drive off the cliff, you gotta pop your seatbelt and just jump out the side door, roll over. You know how they show the scene in the movie when they get ready to roll up? You just gotta roll. You just gotta jump out the car and roll over on. You know what I'm saying? Like sometimes you got to jump out the whip. You know what I'm saying? And sometimes that needs to be like an emphatic statement. You know what I'm saying? Because later on, you don't really get offered a parachute. You know what I'm saying? But I'm definitely, partially responsible for introducing polite to the community. You know what I'm saying? That's a fact. You know what I'm saying? But keeping him in the community, promoting him, like there's a lot of people that are, like more guilty, you know what I'm saying? Even Shaka. You gotta put some charges on Shaka. There's quite a few of Polite's most viewed videos is him and Shaka. You know what I'm saying? Like, so, but it is what it is. You know what I'm saying? Polite's in jail. Polite's doing his time. You know what I'm saying? And it's like Polite will be finished doing his time before they let me and Sarnetta or King Simon or Shock or whoever off the hook for Polite. And, you know, the effects of Polite is being felt in other spaces. You know what I'm saying? Because people may not have noticed. Polite did some real estate coaching for DJ Envy. And then what happened with DJ Envy? DJ Envy got real estate fraud scandal popped up on him.
Yeah.
Yeah, Polite did some real estate mentoring with Floyd Mayweather. And then what happened with Floyd Mayweather? He had a real estate debacle, right? So, there's a ripple effect, a potential ripple effect that's still going on. You know what I'm saying? Like,
We got we
because
got
people didn't heed those initial warnings, like, hey, over here, everybody, listen, I'm telling you, you know how your parents say, like, I brought you in this world, I take you out? You know what I'm saying? Like, I tried to tell, I brought him in this world, I'm gonna take him out. But the taking him out part didn't work. Like by that time, folks was in love with him and they was like, no, Inky, we're going to cancel you. We're not canceling Brother Polite. Like we love Aminette, okay? So that was that. You know what I'm saying?
I mean that was thick too.
I'm just gonna say unnecessary roughness. But shout out to Aminette. I think about my aunt though, the daughter.
Who was that?
Polite's oldest daughter. I think about my aunt, you know what I'm saying? Like my children ask me about before people get weird, you know what I'm saying? My children ask me about her still. Because at that time period, like,
Was
so
that
here's the
was that
thing.
Aminette's daughter?
Yes. Yeah.
Okay.
So here's the thing. Consciousness is on YouTube now. But consciousness before YouTube was in proximity to people. Like we did events together, we ate together, we lived together, we hung out together because it's just a few of us. You know what I'm saying? It wasn't but a handful of us. You had SETI holding down Detroit. You know what I'm saying? You got me, the pills, polite, like it's only a handful of people. You know what I'm saying? It's not a whole bunch of people that's creating this whole universe of commerce and content. It's only 10 people, maybe. You know what I'm saying? All of these young pharaohs and all these people, these are our babies. You know what I'm saying? They came along later. You know what I'm saying? Like, so it's just a handful of us.
I'm a
So when
baby
we
from
do
that
these,
era.
so when we do these events, if you got children, your children running around with the other children there. So the children are forming relationships that don't necessarily have anything to do with the parents. They're just at the events. They're bored. They're not interested in Kemet and who Jesus and Buddha. They don't care. They just want to know when is snack time. When are we going home? Is other kids gonna be there? Like, can I bring these toys with me, Dad? Like, they just, so they formed relationships on their own, and then later on, as the adults split up, unfortunately, the same thing happens. The children follow suit. So yeah, I got pictures with, going to see like we watched Tom Cruise movie the other day and Chase mentioned my aunt, you know what I'm saying? Because I think maybe the first or second Mission Impossible with Tom Cruise we went to see on 42nd Street with Polite in them, you know what I'm saying? And, Chase and my aunt got pictures, as little, little babies, you know what I'm saying, at the movie theater, running around, tearing up the movie theater, you know what I'm saying? So, it's a whole family, it's another part to it that has nothing to do with consciousness, you know what I'm saying? So
Right.
that's why, that's another reason why though it was so messy. You know what I'm saying? Because people just see like brothers in the consciousness, but then from the world that became the YouTube version of consciousness, these are really interwoven relationships. When Sonetta was bringing people into New York, and this is why Sonetta's like, you got to give him his credit and his props. People were sleeping at his house for real. Like, you know what I'm saying? Like, people are sleeping on his couch. Like, because there's no money. Like, it's not like it is now where
Yeah,
people is
these is
making
poor
money. They
righteous teachers.
poor righteous teacher style. So you taking a Greyhound bus, you know what I'm saying? Like you sleeping on couches, you know what I'm saying? Like you sleeping on floors. Like we went across the whole country on houses, on couches and floors. Like people just bringing us in, and that's two ways because you're trusting somebody. You don't know these people. They booking you to come to their place, and you like staying in somebody's house you never met before. But you know what I'm saying? Like it was just a lot of trust and a lot of love. So later on, when the trust and the love start being abused, it got real crazy real fast. It got real nasty because you're looking at family arguing. You know what I'm saying? And then you're looking at extended family arguing. So like me and Shaka may not have had that relationship, but I had that type of relationship with people Shaka had that type of relationship with. So when the fallout happens, it's like, okay, we had Thanksgiving dinner. What side of the table you on? Like it's so for people at home consuming it, it's just, it's a lot of mostly entertainment for people. And, some people get into the information, but, it was really more like family fighting publicly. And, it got super nasty because, people deal in pleasantries at a certain level. And so we all knew each other, but like certain things we didn't know about each other. Like nobody could have foreseen that Polite was gonna be, you know,
Yeah. Yeah.
essaying children and like no, like we could have foreseen it. You know what I'm saying? Like he said
In
some comments
hindsight.
that's still bone chilling, like with that bench scene with like there's some moments, but nobody thought that like what I'm saying. Especially you running around with some baddies, you got 3, 4 baddies. Like what? Like nobody could have put that together like that. You know what I'm saying? But it just is what it is. It happened. It's a moment. You can't take it back. You know what I'm saying? Like, like Jay-Z violated Nas with the baby seat and, the car seat. And, you can't take it back. You did it. You know what I'm saying? You can offer him a job, a few bucks, and try to patch it up and move forward. But, it already happened. You know what I'm saying? So it's like, as men, we got, we can be caught in the past or we can grow and move forward, learn.
Black and Noble in Philly.
But what is going on right now? They trying to get me on the stand. Like, axe.
We got OG Hoteps in there. I say it's Hoteps there. We got OG Hoteps in here. They know they grew up on y'all work, man. We y'all children. That's why we sitting up here like, what the fuck going on?
No, I definitely lived in Black and Nobel for a while, but it got crazy in Black and Nobel eventually too. It got crazy everywhere. Because also you gotta realize, it's like coming into your own. Like consciousness had to grow up at some point. So it had to go from consciousness had to go from a secular thing that nobody knew about that was hidden in the shadows of the world at large. It was hidden. It was an underground community to now being hyper transparent and under a microscope to the point where nobody recognized that was going to happen. Nobody recognized that social media was going to be a microscope to put the whole entire community under investigation. You know what I'm saying? And there were various people in the community that, we didn't really know, you know what I'm saying? Like, what's this guy name? he wound up working for Homeland Security. What's this guy name? That was crazy when I found that out. Because he used to
What?
do videos all the time talking about anti-government, Illuminati, this and that. And I was just like, yo, anybody talking that stuff is liable to be an agent. You know what I'm saying? Like, you gotta watch these guys. And then it came out on the news. My man was on the CNN news. Like, you know what I'm saying? And so God has always looked out for me. Because I remember when Doggy Diamonds and Sonetta. So, in case people don't know, it was Doggy Diamonds and Sonetta that introduced Hassan Campbell to the world.
Okay.
Yeah. And I got the phone call to go down there to the anti-Africa Bambaataa joint and all that. But I didn't go because this guy, I can't think of his name. Irritated Genie. Irritated Genie.
Irritated Genie was Homeland Security?
The whole time. The whole time. The whole time, bro. The whole time. So Sa hits me up. So it didn't have nothing to do with Sa or Hassan Campbell, even though Hassan Campbell, I think, felt away because I never supported. And, he felt like maybe I didn't go down there. It had more to do with Irritated Genie than anything else. I just wanted to keep my distance. Once I found out he was Homeland Security, I was like, yo, wait, whoa. Who's going to be down there? And Saul was like, yeah, we got everybody coming out. Captain, Shaka, King Simon coming up. Everybody going to be out there. Irritated Genie. Everybody, whoa. Irritated Genie. Yeah, he coming. I said, oh, Saul, you wilding, bro. I'm not coming. I'm not standing next to dude, bro. I don't know what that's. I can't tell. You know what I'm saying? So just the way I was raised. Once I find out something, I can't stand.
Wait. Irritated Genie used to go in on the Jews. So that whole time he's going in on the Jews, he's Homeland Security?
The whole time he's faking. The whole time he's a card-punching employee of the Homeland Security. The whole entire time. Bro, so people was like, yeah, but he's the spook that sat by the door. I was like, or he's the agent that infiltrated the crew. Yeah, it's possible. He might be the spook that sat by the door, but he also might be,
Chat, what I tell you about those people it's the Jews people. What we've been saying, yo, why everybody, it's the Jews people got connections to the, wow, I got more ammo.
Yeah. So I'm sure it's gonna be some people mad with me about this now. Just man, you keep me hot, man. I'm gonna just start really saying I do not recall. I'm gonna just turn into YSL Woody up here. I'll be like, listen, if you want to know how much water to drink or fight your diabetes, I don't know nothing else.
Yo, my mind is blown right now.
Irritated Genie. He was definitely Homeland Security the whole time. It might still be look upable. You might still be able to look it up because he was on the news. They outed him.
So he got exposed as it.
Yeah. He didn't tell. And that's what the thing was for me. I was like, if he was the spook that sat by the door, he would have let us know that he was working for the government, whoop, 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 all this whole time. He up there going in on Obama, talking about who Obama get paid by, and Obama got handlers and all this other crazy talk. And your check is the same check as Obama's check. You get the same check as Obama. You got the same handlers. I'm like, nah, I can't. I can't stand next to you. Nope.
Well, we got some good news. This summer, PhD Dr. Tanai Ricks is going to join KeMedicine. It's summertime. He's a professor at a university, so he doesn't have time right now. So we're going to get the collab between the PhD and the natural path.
A long time coming.
It's been a long time coming. So we're going to get him to help contribute to the KeMedicine talks during the summer months. Then he's got to go back to his day job, helping train the next. But he said, your lecture got him on his path. He says the first lecture I heard was the Black and Nobel YouTube channel about glycoprotein 120, and he said that set me on my path.
Wow.
So he said you literally set him on his path, and now he is a PhD organic chemist.
That's crazy right there.
That's crazy.
Yeah, that is crazy right there, man.
So he about to
That's
get
beautiful.
crazy science coming in.
That's beautiful right there. God put me in people's way for a reason, man. I'm glad that right there is why I do it. Because I touch his shoulder and now he's touching thousands of shoulders. Like he's you know what I'm saying? Like that's beautiful right there.
Yep, I exchanged text messages with him. I think it was today. Was it today we was talking tonight? Or was it yesterday? Today and yesterday. No, we talked yesterday. Then he hit me earlier today, but I was prepping for the show. He hit me at 1:16 p.m. today, but we was talking yesterday, and he hit me about the whole cancer, the prostate cancer thing. We had a couple of side conversations that we'll keep private, but yeah. So, but we're gonna get some interesting content this summer. You know, once he's
organic
off.
chemist, he's gonna have a whole nother particular view of things because chemistry is one thing, but organic chemistry is like the foundation of biochemistry. So yeah, he's gonna have a definite yeah. That's gonna be different.
Yeah. I think y'all are gonna be able to complement each other because you're on biochemistry, he's on organic chemistry. So when y'all collab, it's gonna be crazy.
Yeah, that's gonna be crazy.
Sharing, you got the two docs sharing information. You know,
it's gonna be tough.
Somebody said, "Shout out,
man! Shout out to Shaka." You know what I'm saying? And you listen. Even if we piece it up, I don't know if I'm gonna support the hairdo. Does he still have the side lock?
Come on, man.
I gotta take some shots, man. I gotta hate a little bit.
He does not have the side lock no more.
Oh, he doesn't?
No.
Oh man, then I really can't hate on Shaka no more. Man, so I gotta hang it up. Man, it's over. I really get it because that's how I started hating on Shaka with the side lock. But I respected him for the side lock because he was really out to live and demonstrate the culture. Like early on, that's how I was criticizing folks. I was like, yo, all y'all Hebrew Israelites running around and not one of y'all speak Hebrew? I was like, yo, what kind of foolishness? I said, this is below, we don't need to debate nobody. Y'all reading the King James version? I said, no. Get y'all butt out of here. Y'all ain't this ain't no real Israelite culture. You know, this is one thing to talk and teach and come up with studying and culture is different. You're not living the process. Y'all supposed to be out here living it. You know what I'm saying? I used to give them hell for them outfits. So the whole Captain Tazariak that you see now as animated and he try to wear like up to date and they try to change their Israelite stuff to look more like, you know, like that's me influencing that whole
You
culture.
called them niggas Ninja Turtles.
Oh man, with the aluminum foil clothes they used to wear and all that, I used to go crazy on them. I used to roast them terribly. Like we want to debate information. I'm like, no, let's debate these outfits before I'm not even talking to y'all. How I'm gonna take you serious and you got an aluminum foil sword in your hand? Like, what are we doing? I was like, Sah, where are you finding these guys? Like, how are we? Like, what are we talking about? I'm not getting ready to debate God with a guy wearing aluminum foil outside in the nighttime. Like, this is nuts. You look crazy. Y'all got dark-skinned brothers out here wearing aluminum foil out. I'm like, you don't know what that causes Alzheimer's. I said, no, I'm done with these guys. What are we doing? So I forced that whole culture to evolve. You know, jokes is a powerful thing. Jokes are a powerful thing. You know what I'm saying? Especially when jokes get echoed. You know what I'm saying? And other people tap in and, you know, people change. You know what I'm saying? So they adopted, you know, even Captain Tazariak's physique. Like he used to be like a really sloppy kind of fat guy.
Yeah, he's starting to get into shape. Yeah.
Yeah, he didn't. You know, I've been leaning on him with the V. You know, I over time I'm like, hold up now, how y'all skipping over y'all supposed to with the diet start right here. Y'all up there with all them sausages and all that. What that ain't? I'm like, yo, I can't take y'all serious. Y'all got aluminum foil on. Y'all eating pork and I said, come on, man. What godly thing y'all demonstrate? Like, come on, y'all got to stop this foolishness. You know what I'm saying? So,
somebody in the
them.
chat, they thank me for trying to like revive the conscious community.
Nah, you're doing it. You're not trying to do it. You're doing it.
So I just want to give everybody context and understand why. Okay, it stems back to Black Lives Matter. Okay, so Black Lives Matter was coming to a head, and I saw early on they were bringing in the gay movement. Okay, and one of the first things I did, I ain't gonna say the first thing. One of the first things I did was I ran 125th Street. I said I got to go to the Mecca. I got to get the troops. Okay, we need backup. Okay, I need backup. And I saw Sa, and Sa saw me, and his attitude was, "Oh, you just a fan? Get the fuck out of here!" Right? Yeah, but I'm not mad at that, right? Like, because I was a fan, but I'm trying to tell the nigga, like, y'all, you got to get on X, you got to get on Twitter. This is before Twitter, because Twitter blew up when Trump came in.
And let me say this, in Sa's defense, Sa was the bah humbug old man to all of us. So it wasn't just you.
Right.
We were also telling him, Sa, what are you doing, brother? You got to get on social media. You got to do this, you got to do that. Sa like, nah.
Right.
That's all going to come to me. You know what I'm saying? And so
right. So that's why I wasn't mad at it, because I'm like, I know how Sa is, right? Like, so I'm not holding the grudge. I'm just telling you what happened, right? So Sa did the Sa thing. I went to Red Pill. That nigga was like, man, get out of here. I'm going in the car to smoke some weed. Okay. He dropped some gems on me, which I was thankful for. Then he hopped in the van and that nigga got high. Okay. And I wasn't mad. I was just mad the nigga ain't invite me in the van to get high with him. That's the only thing I was mad about. Yeah, I wanted to hit the motherfucking blunt Red Pill. Well, I couldn't hit the blunt Red Pill. Just left me all out on 125th. So I came back, unsuccessful fucking mission. Okay. Trump gets elected. We was doing, Hotepistan was doing battle with the Black Lives Matter niggas. Okay. And then Trump gets elected. And then somehow, someway, I end up in New York City and I meet Shaka. I run into him on the street. Now, by then, I had got my stripes up.
Okay.
So when I showed Shaka my stripes, he was like, oh, okay, let's exchange information. Right. So by then, I had been published. Shout out to Sunny Johnson. She published us on Breitbart. Blah, blah, blah. Fast forward, we come back, we collect the Inky Infinity Stone. Okay? So,
like that.
You know what I'm saying? So we got the Shaka Infinity Stone, we got the Inky Infinity Stone. I'm looking for this General SETI Infinity Stone. That's the Power Stone. That's just coming with just raw, just rage. You know what I'm saying? So I'm coming around and I'm trying to collect the stones. But I'm saying that because there's a war brewing.
Listen,
okay?
I might be able to find SETI though.
Can you?
Yeah.
See if you get SETI. I just want to have a talk.
See, it's some of more of that same politics. Me and SETI never actually had beef. Me and SETI was cool. SETI came to my crib a few times when I first moved to Detroit. Yeah, you remember, SETI is Detroit.
That's Detroit, yeah.
Yeah, so I can't be in Detroit without rocking out with SETI to an extent. But SETI got with Pharaoh, and then it just,
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? But yeah. I could probably find SETI. SETI is maybe a couple phone calls away. You know what I'm saying? I could probably find SETI. If he's still up here in Detroit. I don't know where SETI's at, because I know he had some family down south he was with. You know what I'm saying? So he might, I'm not sure if he's still up in Michigan. But
if you get a chance to talk to him, tell him he's highly requested on the channel, and I'd love to speak with him. Been a fan, House of Consciousness fan, SETI fan. I've been a SETI fan,
what's a fun fact?
What?
The guy that, now mind you, I'm going crazy on the internet, beating up, people promoting the Black Lives Matter movement. I'm like, yo, they scamming. That money not going to black folks. I'm going in. Come to find out, one of my homeboys was like the head of the Black Lives Matter. I'm like, yo, what are you doing?
What, one of the chapters?
Yeah, like,
but not the mega ship. He was probably one of the chapters.
Yeah. He wasn't, with George Soros, you know what I'm saying?
Right.
But no, but he was, yeah, but he was one of like the leaders in New York, you know what I'm saying? Like, so
Wow.
I was like, what are you doing? And why is it that I always know everybody? You know what I'm saying? Like, you know what I'm saying? Like, why do I have to know you? You know what I'm saying? Like, I don't want to know you right now. Like, no, this is one of my guys. Like, we go back to the neighborhood. You know what I'm saying? Like, to the
So
neighborhood. You know what I'm
so
saying?
we forming up, okay? We forming up because what we're dealing with right now is a huge vacancy in black media, okay? And there's nobody that can really make this thing happen, not to toot my own horn, like me, okay? I'm pretty much the only person that can make this thing happen. But we've got to form up because there's a war brewing, and a lot of it is people who are federal informants. They have that movement, but that's not the war we're fighting. What we are fighting is a war of information.
The
Okay,
irritated genius.
I don't even want to touch though. Pause. I don't want to. I don't even want to go over that side of that war. That like if you over there, you just lost. Okay, but what I'm saying is that black people right now do not have black faces giving them real political information, real historic information, and real science information.
That's a fact.
And right now, the only thing out there as far as black media is Shay Shay and Joe Budden.
That's
So,
crazy.
right.
That's crazy. Hold on. Whoa. Let that sink in for a second. That's crazy. That Shay, like you gotta even say, please say Shannon. Like, don't say Shay. That's crazy. That's yeah, like that's crazy right there. Let's just say Shannon Joseph. Like that just sounds like joke. Like that just sounds mad. Joe Button and Shay. Like that's crazy disrespectful.
You know,
On
so
us as a culture, like we got guys named Shay and Button representing us. Like that's crazy. That sounds like two clowns. You know what I'm saying? Like Shay and Buttons. Like
that
that's
that's
crazy.
that's all we got, and that's no shade to them because I like what's happening on Shannon's platform. I
Yep.
like what's happening on Button's platform. You know,
I'm
I like
definitely
what's
I'm
happening.
definitely subscribed to both of them. I'm definitely a big. I've been you know I'm still from the Bronx, so I got a lot of hate. You know what I'm saying? And me and Shannon's outfits, like them outfits, like I just sometimes I'm just like, who? Why isn't there people that love? Like, where are the people that's supposed to love you? Like, I just come from a culture where people that love you, they just don't let you go outside dressed like, you know what I'm saying? Like you got on orange spandex, brother. I mean, that's not okay. It's not okay, especially as your platform grows and more people see you and now we got to have conversations like this and go, well, Shay represents us. You can't hop out with open toe sandals on and orange spandex. Like you can't represent me. You know what I'm saying? As a man with orange spandex on and open toe sandals. Like you can't. That's not okay.
Yeah, yeah, yeah. So, I wanna. So the real enemy is niggas with degrees.
Let's go.
That's who we fighting.
That's a cult.
Yes.
That's a cult. And see, listen, I gotta bring it up. You know what? We gotta end this video because I gotta bring this up, but I don't even want to go
No,
into
we
it
got to go into it.
because
We here now.
I'm not really a fan. You know what I'm saying? But I told you, your man brung up the Boulay thing.
The
Your man
boule.
brung up, if your man brung up the Boulay thing, and I'm like, yo, this is crazy because the first thing Jonathan Audi said when he got arrested for shooting up the Trump Hotel was he was a sex worker for Diddy, and Diddy is a part of the Boule, and that instantly took my mind back. Yeah, I
That's
mean,
who. That's who we going to war with.
so yeah, it's an interesting thing because it does, the Greco-Roman fraternity brothers. You know what I'm saying? And from the outside looking in, people that are not initiated into any groups, they believe that being initiated into any group is all the same. So they think that the fraternities and Masons and Illuminati and Skull and Bones and they every group is the same. You know what I'm saying? And that's not the case. You know what I'm saying? So yeah, it's definitely, you know, people have pledge allegiance for different benefits to different groups, and you know, we out here.
I also have spies on the inside there, so we'll be co-opting some of the boule. I got hybrid hotep boules, so we're actually going to make the boule kill itself. That's literally the strategy, but we can't do it unless when their ranks defect. Because you got to remember, we don't even have to attack the boule because the boule is about to be irrelevant because of AI. Okay? AI is about to kill the university niggas. So really all we got to do is be in position for when they fall off, that we're right there, and the people like, okay, this is who we're following. But the AI is gonna kill the boule. Yeah, I'm deep in my art of war, Jack. I'm definitely deep in my art of war. I've been plotting this shit for years. Okay, I've been this is
I don't know what the blueprint to the plan looks like, but from the outside looking in, it looks like you have been executing it flawlessly.
Thank you, sir.
Yeah, it looks like you've been executing it flawlessly. So, you know, we can go down different rabbit holes. I'm sure the people watching, like, yeah, and I think, you know what I'm saying, because we done sparked a lot of, you know what I'm saying, like, so, you know, I just think that the fact is you're 1,000% correct. You know what I'm saying? The fact is you're 1,000% correct. You know what I'm saying? Like there's a wide open space. You know what I'm saying? DJ Academics is not, you know, that is what we have though. We got academics, drink champs, you know what I'm saying? Joe Budden. We got foolishness, you know what I'm saying? Like, and listen, I'm gonna just throw it out there. Steve Coakley predicted a lot of this stuff that's going on right now. You know what I'm saying? I'm gonna just throw it out there. Not necessarily a Steve Coakley fan, but I'm just, you know, Steve Coakley predicted a lot of this that's going on. And even you saying, like, we got to go to war with the brothers with degrees, like, man, that sounds like a bar lifted right out of a Steve Coakley presentation. Like that, like that's literally like, so yeah, it's wild. It's wild. But Jonathan Oddie definitely, that when they picked him up, that's the first thing he said. He said, yes, I've been a sex worker for Diddy, and I've been having sex with Cassie and all these celebrities. And, you know, Diddy is a Boule member, so he has a lot of power. And everybody got into all the celebrities of the story. And me, when I saw that, I was like, wait, what did he just say right there? Rewind that part, right? Pause. What did he just say, right? Diddy is a what? I'm like, yo, what is happening right now? You know what I'm saying? So, and this is 4 years ago. Jonathan Oddie is arrested for shooting in the Trump Hotel.
Yeah, I shared that on the show after you sent me that video. Yeah.
Oh yeah, so it's crazy. It's crazy. You know what I'm saying? Like it's crazy. So it's wild. You know what I'm saying? It does need to. You know, we do need to stay.
Roland Martin's on that list.
Roland Martin is such a goofy fat boy. Respectfully. But yeah, I can't.
He's definitely
he's so disgraceful.
He's one of my number one targets. He might be like I don't know what my rank is yet because I still haven't selected all my targets, but he's definitely, if I had to pick right now, he's my number one target today. We've got to destroy him.
He's an op.
He's killing our community.
He's definitely, bro. And I don't even know your angle. My angle is the health information. I'm like, yo.
We got Sonny on the politics information. So if we can replace him with Sonny, I
But hold on,
mean,
hold on. I'm like, how is it that we got a fat guy? How does he get to evaluate who is supposed to be disseminating health information? I'm like, bro, you ain't got a healthy bone in your body, like literally and figuratively. Like, what is going on right now? Like, what is happening? You're not even pretending to get, you can't do 6 push-ups in a row. Like, what are we talking about? I'm like, this is madness. Like, somebody has to stop him. Like, what is going on? Because people hit me up like, well, Roland said, I'm like, oh, stop. Don't finish that sentence. Roland cannot say, okay? So just stop yourself right there and blame yourself. Don't listen to anything that Roland is saying have to do with healthy anything. Because Roland might tell you that you need to take 2 Twinkies in the morning, follow that down, but I don't know what he's doing over there. Crazy. But anyway, it's almost 11. Let me say this last thing, and then I'm done. We getting out of here. I just want y'all at home to know this is supposed to be a 60-minute program. I just want y'all to know this. And it wasn't my idea because I know, like, I'm, long way.
that
You know
was
what I'm
that was
saying?
all
It's
me. I told Inky, I said, hey man, we gotta keep these shows to 1 hour, to make it palatable. Then
okay.
after
You sure?
episode 2, this nigga Inky was like, yo, wasn't we supposed to keep these to an hour? I was like, listen, nigga. I don't know what's going on with this information. The show gotta keep going, okay? We gotta co-op the whole night, keep these niggas off the bullshit. You know what I'm saying? We gotta keep the folks off the bullshit, and if they on the hotep pill, we gonna lead the people out. You know what else? I'm gonna take the last piece. This is the last piece to the puzzle. This was the first Infinity Stone I had to collect. And this was the biggest mistake I saw with the conscious community. Y'all niggas was hating on white folks too fucking much.
I think that was no. I don't think so.
Now I'm not talking
I
about
don't
House
think
of
so.
Consciousness.
No. I'm gonna tell you why. I'm gonna tell you
Okay,
why
okay,
I
go
don't think
ahead.
so. And white folks, I'm sure y'all watching because I got a bunch of white folks that I really rock with now. You know what I'm saying? Like, but you know how they say the people you have to explain to don't matter, and for the people that do matter, you don't have to explain. Like, consciousness grew out of anti-white resentment. So all of the early movements are Nation of Islam and this one and that. So it's all anti-white. The problem is, and so I see the problem as people not reading. Like, that's my problem because it's
Facts.
cool. It's cool, like even for white folks. You know what I'm saying? It's cool to be a young white person and be like, man, maybe Spanish in today's money, like maybe Spanish people are getting the jobs or whatever, or maybe back in the day, black people get okay. But as you get a little bit more educated, you learn your history. You got to go, oh yeah, okay, so that's okay. That's not really a thing. That's just my local uneducated perception of things is okay. Boom, you got to get a greater picture. So when we coming out of uneducated space and we come out of the hood, it's only us in the hood. So we're not gonna blame ourselves. Accountability? What's that? Like, you know what I'm saying? We're not gonna blame ourselves for anything. We're gonna blame Ricky Schroeder. You know what I'm saying? That's what we saw growing up. Ricky Schroeder, different strokes, we're gonna blame them. You know what I'm saying? Like, we mad that we mad at Arnold and Willis because we don't have a Phil Drummond. You know what I'm saying? Like that's what people mad with. So that, it's education. You know what I'm saying? And that's what, like, programs like the Fresh Air Fund try to take black kids, Spanish kids from the neighborhood, let them hang out with some white folks for a week or two. You know what I'm saying? Let some white folks in the suburbs get exposed to some young black folks and some Spanish folks and just start mixing people up. And I didn't really understand the gift that we had in New York and in the Bronx specifically until I started traveling to a lot of other cities. Like a lot of other cities that's black folks, it's really black. Like Detroit's a black city. You know what I'm saying? Like it's still 2025. Detroit's a black city. You know what I'm saying? Like you get on the outskirts, then you got some Dearborn where, it's like Arab, like but Detroit is a black city. You know what I'm saying? The Bronx, it was mostly black folks, but it was just mostly like it's never been like dominated by anything. You always had white folks there. You know what I'm saying? Sprinkled, you know what I'm saying? And then as things develop, they move back in. Now you got a bunch of white folks, but it's always been white folks there. There's always been Spanish folks and a wide variety. When I first left New York and went to Atlanta, I missed my Puerto Rican people. You know what I'm saying? Like I was like, where is the Puerto Rican? What is this? Where's all these Mexicans? I said, what is? Hold on. You get to Atlanta and Spanish becomes Mexican. I'm like, no. In New York, Mexicans just a part of Spanish people. You know what I'm saying? Like you got Cubans, you got Mexicans, you got Dominicans, you got Puerto Ricans, you got, you know what I'm saying? They all got their different dialects. Sometimes they don't even speak the same Spanish. Like it's a cultural amalgamation that goes on that gives you a different vantage point in New York that, when you come from some other places, you just don't have that. And with the country being like 60, 70% white, I learned that you can't really blame white folks for their ignorance a lot of times because they just don't know it.
Boom. Boom.
Yeah, they don't know any better. It's just them. You know what I'm saying? And
They
then
just as ignorant as us.
and the worst thing is we keep signing up to put these goofy programs on TV. And it's like we don't understand the power of the TV shows. So you got these white folks that's growing up, and nowadays they really believe, like in the neighborhood I live in, a lot of people really believe like I'm Ghost from Power. Like they're like, oh yeah, we know what you do. I'm like, no, don't wink. I really am like a healing. Like this I write books and heal. Like I think for a living. I don't like. It's not a tricky kilo. Like I don't have a night. Like I don't sneak out at the nighttime to murder people and sneak kilos into the country. Like. But you can't tell these people that because they watching TV. So it's like, you know what I'm saying. And then so we just got to get it together. The black media thing is a really really important thing. Beyond conspiracy theories and boule and all that stuff, like it's really, really, really important. And folks, the
And
gravel, the gravel of the community has been blocked out by the degree guys,
and
whether
and
we
and, and
call it boule or not.
and that's like part of my goal is right taking your brand, Shaka's brand, and trying to expose it to a wider base, right? Because it's like we just talking to black people. I'm like, you realize it's white folks with resources who, if they were exposed to this information, would come in and explode everything we doing. You know what I'm saying? That's why, like, I'm on Fox. I'm gonna going back on Fox. I just had a call. Like, I got allies in high places that's ready to push us. You know what I'm saying? Like, I got open access to really large networks. You know what I'm saying? We got Joe Rogan. Everybody knows the networks I got.
Bro. You need to hold on for a second. And I know people might get mad with me about this. They're like, hold on, Inky, that's treason. Now you telling Hotep to stop saving black folks and go save a white man. But listen, Joe Rogan needs your help. Okay, you have to stop letting Billy Carson and Terrence Howard go on to Joe Rogan's platform and do that thing that they're doing over there. That is crazy over there. That is crazy. You don't know how many people, like after we did our show, the first time you came on my page, and I told people, I was like, yo, Hotep Jesus been on Joe Rogan. Because we love Joe Rogan, especially me. I'm jujitsu community. You know what I'm saying? So I love Joe Rogan for a variety of reasons. So they're like, yo, how close is your man Hotep Jesus to Joe Rogan? I'm like, bro, he just been on the show. I don't think it's his cousin. Like, I don't know.
Nah, we're not that close. Nah.
Folks see you one time, they like, yo, he got him on speed dial. Listen, man, listen, tell him Terrence Howard do not represent the black community, okay? If anything, we're gonna roll with Professor Dave on this one. Like Professor Dave is getting invited to the cookout, okay? Professor Dave, Professor Dave is coming to the cookout. We rolling with Professor Dave on this one. But, yeah. We gotta clean that up over there, man.
The goal is to take this year and level up. Okay, level up the whole fucking movement as fast as possible and as large as possible, so that next year, when I hit the Joe Rogan platform for the third time's a charm, everything erupts. I'm in Rogan's ear to the point where I can say, look, here's how we can move together. You know what I'm saying? And I can start building a partnership with him. But it's hard to, he's $100 millionaire, right? It's hard to get a nigga ear when your brand isn't even remotely close to their level. You see what I'm saying? So the goal is to take the whole brand, explode it this year, go on Rogan next year, have it take it up that next notch, and then I could start making the phone calls and we could really start moving pieces, and then it gets, I got a whole 10-year plan. It's fucking insane. I can't get in on the details because the haters is watching, people who steal my shit is watching. So everything I said today, some of it was bait for our enemies, but a lot of it is, has to be hidden.
Unstoppable, so you can't stop it, haters. Just get your popcorn. That's it. Just get an Amazon subscription to weekly popcorn deliveries. Yeah, that's it. All you can do is watch. You can't stop it. So,
yeah. So, that's the plan. So, we need the community. Let's start blowing this shit up, and next year we're gonna hit Rogan again, and we're gonna go crazy. So there's some sacrifices I've had to make, to hit the platforms that I'm able to reach. I've had to put on certain masks to.
Man, don't you listen? You're giving the haters sound bites. They're gonna look. He sold out to the Illuminati. He admitted it.
You gotta understand that every time I say something, some of it is bait. You gotta give the haters something. And the thing is, they never know what's bait, but the bait is for the trap. So when I give them, I've read the 48 Laws of Power 5 times, 4.5 times.
I was about to say, and you're using them very well.
Okay, so
we've been watching you, sir. You've mastered. You might need to put out your own edition like 50 did.
That's coming soon, I actually did put out my own edition, but I had to remove it because too many people had got a hold of it and started using it in the wrong way. So I had to remove it. I had to take it down. But I've since evolved. That was 8 years ago I published that book. So I'm on a whole nother level now with it. So that information is still relevant. But that book I dropped was one lane of what I am able to accomplish. That was one specific strategy, whereas there are 10 strategies at play. You know what I'm saying? So yeah. You and Inky panel, absolutely. We're gonna make that happen. But yeah, so we got a lot. We got great plans for Hotepistan, a 10-year plan. I would say we're on year 2 of the 10-year plan. Okay, so everything else before year 1 was prep to get to year 1. You know what I mean? Building foundation. But we're on year 2 of the 10-year plan, and so we're just gonna put our nose down, keep working like Trebulus. Trebulus. Did I say it right?
No comment.
So thank y'all for tuning in. Another episode of KeMedicine in the books. And
now you got some more ways to market Apex.
Why you say that? Oh, yes, exactly. Yes.
Into some other health benefits of the Apex. You know what I'm saying?
Absolutely. Yeah, I'm gonna be studying tonight's episode. So
it can do more for you than just Apex got some dynamic stuff in there.
Yeah. Another episode in the books. I'll see y'all tomorrow for the Griff Report, 2 p.m. You know how we get down. Be well, stay merry, tell somebody in your family that you love them, and as always, Hotep and build.
Yeah, in the IB, where the post they lie. Electron spin, got a rhythm to survive.